Welcome back to Speed Chat Plus. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't do anything bad this time. I hit start recording. It recorded for a minute 45, and then it stopped recording after Michael and I had been talking for 15 minutes.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not as long as we will be talking. You know, it's like we didn't talk for that long.
No,
But
definitely
like,
not. So,
yeah,
but
we,
hi.
we
We're two
we
guys
yapped
with
for way
beards that
too
are going to
long.
talk about Toontown for a very long
Yeah,
time. So,
yeah, mainly Toontown.
let
Yeah.
me let me bring up my shout out that I already closed out of.
This is the first time that we I think are starting an episode having to run it back. But
I know, right?
this will be yeah.
I don't know how
We're
that
just two dudes
happened.
chilling. We're just chilling. We're gaming. We're chatting.
We're
We
dudes,
can
we're
run it
chilling, we're
back.
chatting. That's what we do. So, Michael,
Speed
give a
Chat
shout
Plus,
out real
everybody.
quick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is how we'll start it because you started the episode by giving your shout outs, but while you pull up your shout outs, I'm going to give my shout outs. So we're starting the episode with shout outs. I'm going to shout out Sonic Racing Crossworlds again because as of this recording, they have now released the Minecraft pack so you can race as Steve, Alex, or Creeper on the Minecraft track. And then October 9th is when they're starting the festival again for the collab rewards for Minecraft Steve. So I'm going to be playing quite a bit of Sonic Racing this weekend, which I'm really excited about. I have the digital deluxe edition, so I can just get Steve and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a lot of fun. From the gameplay footage that's hit my timeline, it looks cool. So that's my first shout out for sure.
That's a good shout
Um,
out.
my second shout out has to do with Steam Next Fest because that's happening this month, and I've been getting some press releases and stuff. And one game that I just recorded a video for that you may or may not see on the Steam store webpage for said
Ooh.
demo being broadcasted by the devs. I'm gonna shout out Extinction Day, which is basically like a doomsday, like you're turning the globe, you're trying to like infect certain countries or like regions with like storms and disasters and asteroids and respiratory illnesses and stuff, and trying to take over the world before they like build the ark. Or like it was a lot of fun. That's all I'll say. I won't spoil the video too much, but I'm like literally sitting here trying to convert it from like one file format to another, which it just did. So I'm going to start downloading some a large video file. But yeah, like Steam Next Fest is here. Go try all the demos. Go wishlist a bunch of games. Like that's a big call out. It's later this month, or I think it's already happening because like the autumn sale is happening on Steam. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
games are like on sale, so it's a great time to pick up some new games, some genres maybe you haven't played before. Like Extinction Day, like surprised me. I was like locked in. You'll find if you look at the Steam webpage store for it, like if you see me there, like I'm not the only creator obviously that like they that brands will reach out to like be on their Steam store pages, but like
Mm-hmm.
if you see me, you'll see how locked in I was and like really into it. And yeah, it was actually really cool. So like I don't have like super big like Twitch CCV numbers right now, but like it's cool to be able
And
to like be
nobody
roped
does. Twitch
in.
is doing a weird thing where
Yeah,
it's cutting
but
everybody's
that's a
viewers in
whole
half.
thing. That is a whole topic of
It's a
conversation these
whole
days.
thing.
It's a whole thing too. But you know, aside from that, like even though like there are some opportunities I can't necessarily pursue right now because of that, there are also opportunities that like I am able to like be able to pursue. Like I will also shout out Lego Party because you and I just did a
We
stream
did play
together
that. That was
and we
cool.
played Lego Party.
We
That
should play
was
it again
cool.
sometime. I would
We
totally
should
be
play it
down.
again. Yeah, it's actually really fun. I demoed it at Summer Game Fest. SMG Studio provided some codes, and it's one of many brands that are like sending me codes and press releases and assets. And it's very overwhelming right now as a creator from like all the different games you can play. Like, and
Well,
now
the
Steam
best
Next
part
Fest
is
is
that you
kicking
get to
off.
like choose which ones you like the best and be like
Yeah,
that one, and that one.
yeah. It's like it's a really awesome position that I guess I'm not used to being in, especially
Mm-hmm.
with all these creator programs as well. Like we were talking about before we found out the recording was bonked that like I mentioned that Little Nightmares 3 is coming out with some like Twitch chat badges and stuff. Like Twitch is throwing those up for people that want to like watch or support a streamer that are like playing Little Nightmares 3.
Mm-hmm.
So like that game has a lot of people excited, and I I'm shouting them out as well before you get to your shout outs, which I know it's one of yours. Spoiler alert.
Totally fine.
But yeah, because Bandai did also give me Little Nightmares 1 and 2 to like enjoy before Little Nightmares 3 comes out.
You have like 1 day to do that.
There's too many games coming out. I'm sorry.
What were you going to do tomorrow anyway, Michael? Come on.
I know. 24-hour stream.
It won't take that long to get through the first and second one. I promise you.
Yeah, it'll probably just take like a few hours, which I like games that just take a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
So.
First one you can do in 2, the second one about 5. That's like half of your normal stream time.
Easy, yeah. But very excited for Little Nightmares, and I don't know, like I just feel like I'm in, even though like the numbers are down, like the vibes are up. Like I feel like I'm in a good spot as like a creator right now, and of course. Shout out TwitchCon because that's coming up. Probably talk about it on the next episode. But
yeah, I mean, like TwitchCon is like where you go to just hype yourself up to get streaming again. It's like, man, I don't feel great because I only have like 25 viewers now instead of my regular 390. And then you go to TwitchCon and they're all like, you can do it. And you're like, I can do it. And then you go back and you do a subathon and it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you go to TwitchCon and they're like, "Hey, if you have like 10 viewers, you're in like the top 6%."
You're in the
like,
upper echelon, man.
It's epsilon, yeah. I think that's all the shout-outs I have because Steam Next Fest, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, Little Nightmares 3. That's 3.
And you should get it for PS5 so we can play together because it's a co-op game and it was built for co-op.
I should. Even if I don't have PlayStation Plus, I think I can still play it with you.
I think you can. And if not, I will give you 1 month of PlayStation Plus.
Hey.
If for some reason it doesn't let you, I'll do it right then and there. I'll be like, all right, Michael, here's my credit card. 1883.
123 Sesame Street. Wait. That's not a credit card number. All right. That's all the shout-outs I got.
I got a couple shout-outs. So my first shout-out is the fact that Yuka Replayly is out now. If you're watching this, I uploaded a review. You should check out the review. I'm going to be honest. I literally threw together the review in 2 days. It went from, like, scripting it to uploading it in 48 hours. Yeah. So it's not the most effort I've put into something, but it's also because I was on a time constraint. I was trying to beat the embargo, which I did.
The video's still, 16 minutes. Like, it's impressive.
It's because I know I had a lot I wanted to say. I wanted to make sure I got it out there. And like I'm not even kidding, I had probably double the amount written down because my first instinct was like, I should make a video going over every single change and difference they made. And then I played the game and I went, there are way too many changes and differences that they made. If I went through and said, all right, this wall is different now because they changed the platform to here, that it would be an 1.5-hour video. And I would still be working on it and it wouldn't be out and I would miss the embargo completely. So I did a short review, even though it's 14 minutes, short. But I wanted to hit on like massive changes that people cared about, things that frustrated people individually, and I even played the original ukulele last week so that I have footage of that to show and compare. Like, look, the Kartos is different, Kartos challenge is different, Rextro is different, the way the spin attack is different, the way they fly is different, and so I had a lot of that footage to be able to go side by side, and I even got a comment of somebody who was like, hey, I appreciate that you pointed out the differences specifically instead of just reviewed it a la carte like, it's a good game because it's good, you know? And so that was at least my vision, and it's doing okay. It's doing better than my previous 2 videos combined at the moment, and that is the power of getting a game early and being able to be one of the first reviews up.
Yeah.
But you should always put 100% effort into everything you make. Anyway, the point of my shout out wasn't that at all. It was the fact that there's a lot of other people that reviewed it too, including IGN. IGN reviewed the first game and gave it a 7, being all like, yeah, it's good, but like it could be better. And you know what? Going back and playing the first one, I see where the glaring issues are. The lighting is terrible, the frame rate is terrible, the worlds are empty. It's still fun, but
just
like
could have been better.
It could have been better. So like 7 might have even been generous. Maybe 6 is where it belongs. And then they review Yuka Replayly, which is arguably better. And in the review, the guy says, yes, it improved a lot on what the original built on. 5. 5? Gave it a 5. Like, dude, better. gives worse score. And so now everyone's dunking on IGN. Like, if you go to the actual YouTube video, the entire comment section is all like, bro, you said it was better and you gave it a 5. This is why nobody trusts you.
This is another Kingdom Hearts 2 scenario, honestly.
And as this man right here says, FYI, the review's the only reason that Yooka-Rayplayly isn't above an 80 Metacritic score right now.
No,
so
literally.
It's crazy.
IGN's power is crazy.
IGN literally, like, lowering the curve. On the bright side, though, as this video goes out, Yooka-Rayplayly will be available to everyone. You can play it if you like. I highly recommend it. I think it's only $30. Even cheaper if you have the original. They give you a discount for owning the digital version of the first one.
It's like a Switch 2 edition upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that. If you have the original, you get the new one at a cheaper price. And it's basically a brand new game. You're not paying for just like enhanced graphics. You are paying for a new game. It plays like a new game.
And if you're curious about that, watch the review.
Watch the review.
Linked
somewhere. It's not going to be linked. That's too much. It's too much effort.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
But my point being here is that now that a lot of people are going to get their hands on it, I anticipate that the like user reviews are going to go up. Like, user reviews are probably going to hover in the 80s if I had to take a guess, because again, it's not Mario Odyssey, it's not DK Bonanza, it's not Astrobot. It's not meant to be any of those. It's supposed to be a good nod to the original Banjo-Kazooie. It is supposed to be built like a 90s platformer, which is what it did, and it did that really well. And so the guy who reviewed it and gave it a 5 was all like, it's not good, just play Astrobot instead. It's like, no, it's not like Astrobot. It's different than Astrobot. Astrobot is a collectathon, yes, but it has very linear level design. You go from level to level to get from start to finish, collecting things along the way. This is the big open worlds where you use your moves and you do the puzzles and you can explore at your own volition, and there's a big hub world and unique fun bosses, and it's not the same type of platformer, so you can't compare it to those platformers and say it's bad because it's not that. So that's
is the dislike oh wait no well I was gonna be like, is the dislike to like ratio like strong, or like I don't know.
I don't have the plugin to look at dislikes, but I bet it probably is. Like, if I had to take a guess, I would have. I kind of want to look right now. Like, again, I won't be able to see, but
I was curious. Yeah.
I want to look at the comments real quick. This is 12 hours ago, 24,000 views, and it's like it's not even that this is like the most viewed thing on their channel. This wasn't the thing that everyone. Hey, look, there's mine. Look, it's in the recommended. That's crazy. That's me.
Oh, nice.
I'm not on an account. I don't know. I mean, like, that's crazy.
Your own video being recommended on a random YouTube viewer.
Right? So why not just play Astrobot? IDK, man, because I completed it 5 times already. 7 out of 10 for the OG and 5 out of 10 for the remake that improves on almost every flaw. Makes sense? Why would IGN ask somebody who's not really a fan of 3D platformers to review a 3D platformer? Because clearly this game is meant to appeal to fans of 3D platformers. The one time a 7 out of 10 would make sense, and they give it a 5.
Oof.
So, yeah, the game is so much better than a 5. I'm glad that the consensus, even people who, like, haven't played it because the game's not out, are looking at it and being all like, yeah, it's better than a 5. Like, what are you doing? It also doesn't help that he completely, like, I'm not going to say misgendered Laylee, because I think he did say that she's a she, but he, like, misspecied her. She's a bat, and he called her a bird. Oh, hurts my soul.
That review gets a 2 out of 10 for me.
that review gets a 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
If that's any evidence that they don't know what they're talking about, then I don't know what is. But all right, that's your first shout out.
Okay, and then my second and last shout out, because I don't have too many. Oh no, I had the thing about Xbox and cloud gaming, and it doesn't matter. Xbox sucks. That's all you need to know. They're doing this experimental thing where they're thinking about allowing you to play like 5 hours of video games for free a month if you watch ads. But then that's it, and it's for a month, which is ridiculous. It's like, bro, play half a video game for a month, I guess. Not even worth it. You can't even really experience too many games like that.
These are definitely like questionable recent decisions from like Xbox's end, and it really shows in like the replies of like any recent like Xbox post or announcement. Like
I think
people
Xbox
are
just
really
gave
like,
up, to be honest. They're just like, I don't know, man. We're doing whatever at this point.
It's definitely interesting. Yeah.
But last shout out before we get into the topic that is in the title and the thumbnail of the video. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for getting this far. Or maybe you just clicked on the timestamp and skipped over this completely.
There you go.
Last shout out is Nintendo's new animated short, which was supposed to be a big hint, like Pikmin, right? I don't know if it was like in honor of Pikmin or if it was supposed to like tease a new Pikmin game. But like people
We don't know.
watched it, and the original short didn't have the Pikmin in it. And that wasn't on purpose. And that
It was like
original short is still up.
Yeah, it was like the baby's bib was like levitating. And I'm like, that's weird.
That is kind of odd.
I guess the Pikmin are just like super tiny, which
They just
would make sense.
forgot
I don't
it.
know. But apparently they went back in and updated the short with Pikmin, and they were supposed to be in this.
Because it's like some of the shots would be
video.
really weird, because there's obviously like some
Yeah.
shots that are supposed to focus on Pikmin, but if the Pikmin aren't there, then you're just staring at
Yeah.
like the baby's crotch, and that's kind of
Yeah.
weird, dude. Like,
As of this recording of this podcast, the YouTube video without the Pikmin is still on the official Nintendo YouTube channel. But if you know where to look, you can find the actual intended animation with the Pikmin in it. But yes, we don't know exactly what this means, if it's teasing a new game, or we don't know all the details just yet. Yeah, it's even like the animation itself is nice. It's very much like a Pixar animation. It'll tug at your heartstrings emotionally if you do watch it. But I think it's gonna hit a little bit more different now that the intended animation is out.
oh, and people
with
are
the
like,
Pikmin.
it was supposed to be Pikmin. Because there was like a
Yeah.
Reddit thread as I was trying to find this story about like
Yeah.
people being like, what do you think it is? It kind of sounds like
Exactly.
Pikmin music, and people are like theorizing, and
Yeah, people were
then they just like updated it, and they're like, guys, it's Pikmin. Sorry, our
Yeah,
bad.
it's absolutely Pikmin. Yeah. Yeah. The people were all like, it's not Pikmin, and then they get community notes and it's like, it's Pikmin.
It's Pikmin, guys. If you didn't know, by the way, it's Pikmin.
Yeah. Some people definitely had to take down some videos and Twitter posts after that one. So
There's still time to
Yeah.
delete this, bro.
you still have time.
All right, but hey, we got another big announcement that like this happened after our last episode. Like literally the day after our last episode, so we didn't get to talk about it until now. I had kept planning on making like a short for it, and I still forgot. I probably still should, but I mean, like, I'm gonna try to, at least while it's still
There's
relevant.
a lot happening right now in
There's
the
a
gaming
lot happening.
world. There's so much.
At the beginning of October, I told Carly, I said, I'm going to be busy for the next 2 weeks. If you do not hear from me, it's because I am nonstop working. There's like 4 games coming out. I got to review this one, get this one done by the embargo, finish this video, another game coming out. Got to finish this game to get footage for it. Will not have time for anything. And so one of those things that kind of slipped under the radar, at least our radar, I know the Toontown community absolutely saw this and is overjoyed and can't wait, is the new Flunky and Flippy plushies, which look different than the ones we have, right? Like, if you want to grab Flippy, I got the Flunky, right?
Oh, you have the Flunky?
I do have the Flunky. I know you have both, but I'll showcase the Flunky, and you can showcase the Flippy.
Flippy is back here somewhere.
He's back there. We'll find him. But I got the Flunky. There he is. This is obviously not from this campaign. These are separately made. Michael, don't show your feet. Oh, okay, never mind. It's cut off on your camera.
Oh, no.
I absolutely see Michael's feet.
In this economy?
I gotta like censor that somehow.
Oh no, I found Flunky, I guess.
Okay, well then bring Flunky.
I found another Flunky.
Well, you have 2 Flunkies? Wait, are they the
He's
same?
Somewhere. I know he is. He's here. He's somewhere.
If
I
you're
know
if you're
he's
watching this
here.
right now, just like don't look at Michael's feet. Don't do it. Have some
There's
respect,
splints.
guys. Guys, did you know this is
I'm
made out of
finding every
100%
other Toontown
polyester?
plushie that's not Flippy. There's Duck Shuffler, Pace Setter.
That's a
Why-
different
why
game,
is
Michael.
Flippy
We're
not
not
here?
talking about that one yet.
Where is this man? I don't know where he
I have
is.
Duck Shuffler, Pace Setter, and Firestarter back there, but they're all falling over. They're just like, I can't get them to
Bro,
sit
I
up.
don't know where he is.
Although low key, you can't really see it. Here,
Okay. I can't find him right now.
If I go full cam,
He's hiding.
Duck Shuffler is like
hiding.
kissing the little duck. Do you see that? Do you see how he's like
Yeah.
he's kissing the duck?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I found every other Toontown plushie I had except Flippy, but I know he's somewhere. I
Anyway,
absolutely know I have him.
Flunky. I got Flunky.
He's
You
hiding.
got Flunky?
I do. I have both of my Flunky plushies here, as well as the other
So
ones
like
that
tell
are
me
not
because
Flippy.
I'm wondering if they're all the same. You can tell with this Flunky that's in this image. I don't know if you have the link up or not. Do you need the link?
Oh, I can get the
It's
link.
you just scroll up, it'll be there. But if you look at the picture of the Flunky that they did, the suit like pops out a little bit because on this Flunky it's
Yeah.
all flat. This is completely all flat. So this is obviously like what was a prototype for what they're making now. This is just a there's no texture to this. This new one, obviously you see little bumps and textures and it pops out and it's fluffier and the suit
Yeah.
actually like drapes. Like
Yeah.
this is all just connected. This is all sewn in. So this is very, very different plushie. You're getting something absolutely brand new here, and it looks really good. So he even has a tie, and Flippy has a little
Yes.
pie.
And both of them are well more than funded right now. I mean,
Are they
they
already funded? It's been less than a week.
yeah, so the Flunky is 286% funded as of this recording,
Wow.
and the Flunky and Flippy is 351% funded.
Wow.
Both
And
plushies combined are $60, which I mean, like,
so it's
it's not
30
terrible.
each.
Yeah, it's 30 each.
I feel like that's
It's
just kind of how
available.
much the like plushies are nowadays. Like you go to the store
Yeah,
and you see like a giant squishmallow and you're like, "Oh my god, I need it." And then it's $70 and you're like, "Oh, I guess I
I
don't need it
know.
as bad as I thought I did."
Yeah, yeah. Well, details about this are that it is available until 6 a.m. Pacific on November 4th,
You
so
got
you'll have
plenty of time
plenty of time
if
as
you're
of this
watching this 2
recording.
weeks afterward, plenty of time.
If you're watching this 2 months afterwards,
Oh, then you're out of luck,
then
sorry.
yeah, you're out of luck.
Mhm.
And then 100% of the profits go to the Child's Play charity.
Mhm.
So that's how the whole Gags and Gears like project works. They talk about it a little bit on the blog post in terms of how it works, where production will take some time, so you don't get the plushie shipped as soon as you purchase it.
Mhm.
It takes time for them to
It'll
actually,
take like 2 to 4 months. So,
yep, to
don't
process
move.
hundreds of plushies.
I
Yeah,
hope you're not moving soon. And
don't
if you
move.
are, send it to a P.O. box or anticipate what your new address will be.
Yeah, yeah. So all the details are there. You could even like purchase a plushie to be sent to like one of the like partner children's hospitals. The address for that
Aww.
is on the Toontown blog post. So if you want to grab a plushie for yourself, but you also want to pass it on to a children's hospital, you just input the address for the shipping address to the Child's Play charity, which is in Redmond, Washington. And the address is on the actual like
It's
blog
there.
post.
Yeah, it's right
So
there.
you
I
could
see
just
it.
scroll down. Yep. And then yeah, they will send it out, internationally. If you're not in the US or Canada or anything, they'll still send you the plushie. It just might take a bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Toontown Rewritten doesn't make any profits. They
No, they're
literally
smart
can't.
about this. They've been doing this for years.
They have. And this is part of a much bigger like partnership with Makeship. It was announced at Toonfest Orlando, where they're continuing the joy of Gags and Gears for Good, and it's going to be 8 products that they release over the next
So,
2 years.
question about
Yeah.
that. Is it 8 individual products like the Flunky is one and Flippy is one, or is it 8 campaigns where this counts as one campaign and they're doing 7 more?
So it says that the first 2 of these 8 products are Flippy and Flunky.
Okay, so
right
it's
now,
8 total, so it's probably like 4
yeah,
campaigns.
probably, at least if they're pairing stuff like together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just sad because I missed out on the Lord Loud and Clear and Dr. Shirley plushies.
I wasn't
So
able to get those either. They're
yeah,
money.
if anybody has any extras, you know where to send
If anyone
them.
has them, the address down here, Child's Play Charity
There you
9660.
go.
That's my address actually. Go ahead and
Yeah,
send it over. Send it over.
there you go. There you go. But yeah, definitely check out both of these campaigns and support them, because this is like the first effort of more like Makeship like plushies that they're partnering up with Toontown Rewritten on. And
And they look good.
yeah, like They look good. We've seen the Toontown Rewritten and Toontown Corporate Clash plushies, and we know how high quality they are. So this is just the start, and yeah, hopefully we could see some more like really cool ideas. They had concepts and like potential campaigns that were displayed at Toonfest Orlando. So well, a lot to look forward to about this project, which is
Mm-hmm.
something that I've really wanted to actually see get off the ground running for a very long time. And now they're like actually doing it.
Because I
So
think they
it's
first
great.
hinted at something like this like 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, I want to say it was either MomoCon 2023 or GalaxyCon 2024. I'm pretty sure it was one of the two that they first mentioned this. So it's really good to see them like actually, you know, doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is just a random mid podcast shout out, but also don't forget about the Toontown member mailers. If you didn't go to Toonfest and you
Mm.
want to grab like the member mailer, they've done this for a very long time. They have the blog post on it as well. It's actually on the right hand side. If you're looking at the Makeship plushie, it's the fifth one down on the first
Fifth
page
one.
of the
Grab
blog
your
post.
Toontown member
Yep.
mailers.
Yeah. I'm just shouting it out
Okay,
because
but do
people
I get a
forget that
poster? Where's my poster?
you yeah, I have your poster and
Michael, when are you sending
I
me
will ship it to
my
you.
poster?
You could expect your Smirky member mailer soon. But the Toontown member mailer does not come with a poster. It comes with trading cards, as well as the little Toonfest Orlando postcard. It actually has four brand new trading cards included in the member mailer. It's I Spy, the Factory Foreman, the Railroad Gag, and Lord Loud and Clear. Some of the cards I do have on me somewhere, but yeah, it's a nice little memento if you didn't get to go to Toonfest. So
Mm-hmm.
take a look at the process. You have to send in a couple envelopes to the address. And yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. People forget about it, people miss out. So don't miss out.
Yeah, I was
That
like
is
in my
my
head
shout out.
questioning real quick, like how do they like afford to send everything? No, it's literally you're sending them envelopes, and their job
Yep,
is to just put stuff in the envelope and send it right back. So it's like
exactly.
that seems super doable and understandable why they're able to, have a big turnover of that. They're paying for all
Yeah.
of the cards and everything, and if you pay for the envelope, that's a pretty good
Yep.
exchange right there.
Yep. Throw your return address in one of them or
Mm-hmm.
both of them or what, it has the steps you can walk through to make sure that you're doing it properly. So,
Mm-hmm.
and people have also used that to send in like fan art and stuff, which I've actually seen
Aw.
on like the Toonfest wall. They have it every year at the booth. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you're like artistically inclined and you want to send in like fan art of your tune as part of your member mailer, or even like a letter to the team to thank them for all the volunteering efforts that they do, it's a good way to show your appreciation as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't done it, do that. That's the end of my like mid podcast shout out. But
It's a good
they're
shout
doing
out.
a
Good
lot
shout out.
with that as well as the Makeship plushies getting off the ground. So, and Toontown Rewritten is cooking. They are.
Hey, they're
Yeah.
doing good things, and they're keeping their heads down, and they're doing good work, and that's what you love to see. They just did another cartoonival.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't anticipate that they did anything new with it, but it's always like people are excited. Did they
Yeah.
do the cavalcade again?
They did do the cavalcade as soon
People
as the
love the
update
cavalcade.
dropped.
I mean, like it's
It's
not for
nice.
me. I
It's
get it, but
nice.
people go bonkers over it. They love
Nah,
it.
the amount of tokens that you get from it is pretty hype, I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoonable on Toontown Rewritten ends on October 20th, so you have until then to get your items and do the grind and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't come back until September 19th the next year. That's usually the
Every
tradition
year.
every year. Yep.
When's your birthday? September 19th. What year? Every year.
Right. Yeah, I only have like a week left that I'll be able to like do Cartoonable if I want to because there's like, TwitchCon is coming up and I'm going to be out of town for that.
Is
But
there actually anything new in Cartoonival that you would need though, or that you want?
I didn't notice anything that was like new compared to like the past like year or two.
That's fine.
Unless
They
they're
usually just kind of
unless
keep everything the same,
yeah,
so if you didn't get to experience it, because there's somebody new playing the game every single day,
of
so
course.
I get
Yeah.
it.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure they saved the fireworks shows for like the last week, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anything new is going to be like integrated into that like last week promo whatever goes on. So, who knows? But we'll see how the celebration goes for the rest of the like couple weeks. So
Mm-hmm.
go check it out. I yapped way too long about Toontown Rewritten, but like I was
Oh,
like,
that's
oh, they have
totally
this thing.
fine.
Oh, they have this thing, and that's like a good problem to like have when it comes to Toontown Rewritten. So
All right. Well, you
yeah,
ready to talk about the other one?
the other one. Oh,
The other one. The one that is
so
probably going to take up the rest of the episode completely.
yeah, it definitely is. There's, we talked about what Toontown Written is cooking, and Corporate Clash has also been cooking
They have
lately,
a
and
really big pot with a lot of things in it at the same
they sure
time.
do. It's like I don't know how you would describe it. Like, if you're making a dish, you start adding a bunch of random stuff that doesn't follow the recipe, and now you're
It's like they
getting the
took the
big
old dish
pot.
and then threw it out, and then we're like, okay, well, let's take a couple of those ingredients, but instead of making a pasta, we're gonna make a
Let's make our own thing.
let's make a dessert out of whatever was in that pasta, and it's like
Macaroni and cheese, but a dessert.
it might work, I guess. There's a lot of people excited for it. We'll see. It could, but we won't know until you make it. So we'll have to see.
But
But
but Aaron, there might be some people listening in on this podcast that have no idea what we're talking about.
that's
Could
why I
you?
just brought it up. Corporate Clash Development,
All right.
Hammerspace In-Depth, and Gag Reveal. And whenever
Yo,
I
new
see
gag.
gag like this, where it's like capital, lowercase capital, I think it's like one of those faces. Like it looks looks like a face. Like the the one I'm looking.
Oh,
Like an uwu face type deal.
like what?
The
What
A
I
would be a
thought
funny looking nose and
maybe like the
yeah, like
at
one of
symbol.
those. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the at underscore at
underscore
something like
at.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah, like a little ooh woo. Oh
this
whoa.
was posted
Yeah.
on Sunday. That was not even that long ago. So we're still pretty fresh on this one. A little bit more fresh than the TTR news, that's for sure.
Yeah, so just backing up, there was like a Discord post about Corporate Clash going down for an update, and then it just so happened to align with this massive blog post, and people are like a
Oh
little
my God! Did
confused.
you change it now? No, they didn't change it now.
No, 2.0 is not ready. They updated a couple things. The biggest update news was that they brought in some like changes to like some of the streets that they implemented a long time ago where the cog pathing didn't allow for these buildings to be
Mm-hmm.
taken over by the cogs. But now
Those
Sunflower
buildings, or yeah, those
Street,
streets
Wacky
always like
Way,
had such a
yep,
lack of buildings on them.
they
Like they
always
might
had
have
two
one or two,
buildings.
and I wonder if those
Yep,
buildings are just there because every time the district resets, it would just like spawn a
yeah.
building, so it
But
wasn't actually
now,
taken over.
yeah, but now all of those buildings on all of the Clash Toontown streets is going to be like available to be
It's
taken
gonna
over by the
finally act
cogs.
like a real street.
It is, yeah. So that was like the biggest change that they made, but like all the other like minor stuff, it has
Minor
nothing
text
really.
updates, which they
There were
actually
no,
didn't do. There
no,
weren't
they
any
didn't.
minor text updates, but
Yeah,
that's
I think
usually
that
what it is.
so scandalous. I want my minor text fixes, but
Everything except minor text fixes is wild.
yeah, but the blog post goes into like the future of like
Mm-hmm.
what Corporate Clash is gonna do, what they've
And it is
envisioned,
it is long. I'm letting it
and it
scroll
is
real quick.
controversial. So we're gonna talk about it.
There's
So
definitely some non-controversial things in here that I think
yes.
everybody has overwhelming W's for, which I'm totally on board with. Like I'm not
So what are
looking at
yours?
all this
What
and
are
being
some
all
of yours?
like you
Yeah.
know.
So just to be clear, we're not going to read this verbatim on this podcast today.
No, but there are like
We're
definitely specific
definitely,
points we want to
yeah.
pick out.
We want to highlight. We want to summarize. If
Oh,
you
it's
want
hurting my
to,
eyes
oh
so
no!
much.
If
Oh.
you, it is so much. If you want to look through all of this on your own time, go to the corporateclash.net website and take a look for yourself
And then
read
take a
through it.
break but in
then
between
take a break.
paragraphs because
That's
holy
right.
cow, that's a dense read.
It was the one time I was happy that I had ad breaks running on my channel so I could like actually digest and breathe information on my stream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, where do we even start?
So
There's
I'll
so
just start with
much.
Hammerspace in general. Hammerspace is
Yeah.
their inventory system. It's how they want to be able to organize your drops, your accessories, anything and everything, anything new they add to the game. This is basically the foundation of what 2.0 was going to be built off of, and they kept delaying it and delaying it. And so they're just saying, hey, we're still working on it. It's still being worked on, all right? But it is
Yeah.
going to take them a while. So everything that you see here, it's not happening tomorrow. It's not happening next month. It might happen next year, right? That's just might, okay? So we don't know for sure. It could not. We don't know. But there's a lot here, so we're gonna kind of go through at least some of the main points. And do you have it in front of you, or do you want me to just like shout it out and you'll be like, oh, I remember that?
Yeah, just shout it out. That's fine. I will say that like a lot of this has been like under the works before, like even the whole stuff happened over the summer with Corporate Clash's development pause and everything that happened with that. So a lot of this has been like in the works for a while. How the development pause is going to impact the speed as to which this potentially comes out in the next year or two, we'll find out. But yeah, that was just something I wanted to like mention too. Like this is not just something that's been put together over the past couple months. Maybe the blog post.
It probably took them a couple months just to write this.
Probably. Like as soon as they came back, they were like, "All right, we need to get the ground running."
Somebody had Red Bull and Adderall and just went to town, you know, like.
The code Megasnoop and code Smirky drops were going hard.
We got our own. Let's go.
Yeah,
this is actually the spooky one. It's got like the. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're not here to shout out our codes, but we can.
Key lime pie. Key lime pie is my flavor today.
I got that 2.0. That
version 2.0.
The nice dissolve non-shake. It's very nice. Anyway, the first thing I just wanted to point out, the Quick W, this new idea they had for general stores. I like it.
Yeah.
Looks great.
It's cool.
I love the design. I loved even the little story that they told. Do you remember who wrote this section exactly?
It should say at the start of each like section.
Roddy Bones?
Who is, like,
that's me.
Writing it. That's not you.
No, that's what it says. It says concept by Roddy Bones. That's me.
Oh, that's literally what it says.
It's what
that's
it
funny.
says. But this, I loved the little story that went behind it. Like, oh, I've always worked in game design, and I always wanted to do this. And now I found myself on the Clash team.
I grew up around architects, so I went to school to not be an architect, and then I got my game design degree, and suddenly I'm working on interiors and architecture for games. So.
But he's like, cover these walls with as much as you want. I want to look like a Cracker Barrel.
Oh my God. Hopefully not with the new logo.
Yeah, right. No, they've already backtracked that. Cracker Barrel already went back. We're good. Put the old Cracker Barrel logo in there. Yeah.
There you go.
But this is awesome. I love the way this looks.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's kind of on the same side there.
Shout out to the little wheelchair that they threw in there.
Oh yeah, no, that's also like a big W as well. It's not only does it look great, Polygon is always great with all the textures that they make.
Yeah,
100%. They were like basically solely the reason that the Lawbots look the way they do.
Yeah,
and so if you like those designs, you'll like stuff like this. And the wheelchair helps, people feel more inclusive. Corporate Clash has always been, if nothing, inclusive, right? Between all the pride flags and the non-genderization of tunes, they've been like the forefront of acceptance for the Toontown community. Yeah, until you run into an elitist in an elitist in the VP,
Oh my God.
Or should I say like the pace setter fight?
Oh man. Yeah,
but no, I think this is good work. It's like I was talking about the community. The team themselves does such a good job at this kind of stuff. So shout out the team for real. Love that. I love a lot of these little designs that they have, like these new
the little
buildings, the market, the nightclub. It looks really good. Like being able to, something that we've asked for a while is just being able to give every single location its own identity. Because if you walk into a building, whether it's in Daffodil Gardens or Barnacle Boatyard, the interior looks exactly the same. You would not be able to tell where you are just by looking at it. The exception
is when they added Ye Olde Toontown as a brand new playground, which shows that it was something they could do.
They could do. And even more so, like, a lot of the interiors of Ye Olde Toontown look like the same. But being able to make like maybe not every building because that'd be a lot of work, but at least like specific buildings have their unique interiors. Like think of the Pace Setter lobby, just how that has a very unique interior. Seeing more of that, they definitely could, and I think that's what they want to do with a lot of this stuff is more unique interiors, and I think that's awesome.
Agreed.
And then is being able to jump on top of the like the hedges. Is that like
the hedges?
New?
Yeah.
Because I know TTR did something similar with their ability that you can just jump on top of everything now. And
I think
freedom of movement is great. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
I think it touches on like it's not just like we're adding collisions to hedges. It's like it's the much bigger picture.
It's think of what TTR's already done. If you hop on the game right now, I don't know if they did it to every playground, but at least in the Berg and Donald's Dreamland, right? Where you can like jump on the boxes and jump over this and jump onto that, and you can just parkour everywhere.
Skating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's something they're working on, and it's a very welcome addition in my eyes.
Yeah, and it's why not give people the freedom to explore? There's a whole big area to explore. Let them explore it, and I think that's awesome. Should also like add little parkour things, just low key add a little parkour to like secret areas that people can just hang out. Because I mean, like what fun was it in like TTO when people were able to like glitch out of Donald's dock or glitch out of Donald's Dreamland, and everyone would be hanging out in this like little area up top above the tunnel, and we'd all be teleporting to each other. And
all I'm gonna say is when I explored Kaboomberg for the first time, and I glitched out of like the playground, and I looked at the cog building from the other end, and the Easter egg was there, like that was like. That I want more stuff like that. You know? Like little Easter eggs that you really have to go out of your way to like.
Maybe not like where you have to break the game and glitch out of bounds, but like a little secret area that hey, if you know it's there, you know it's there, and if you don't, you don't. Yeah. That's fine. But that'd be cool. So that's just, that's just me. So anyway, then they get into is this the gag update, the Gears and Gizmos update?
Gears and Gizmos, that's what it's called.
How do you TLDR this? Because there is so much here. You don't.
You don't. You summarize it.
New cog identities, right? They're trying to define the cogs.
There's a lot of changes.
This is where we kind of stray off from like only W's to some people will like this and some people won't.
So let's start with the fact that there are these cog designations called interns and seniors, and the fact that pretty much like executive cogs are pretty much out of
completely replace executive cogs. Executive cogs are just like board bots are executive cogs now. That's what it is. Basically. They've removed board bots from their role of being like a general cog type to being their own unique type of cog. Like the way I wanted to, I couldn't really convey it when you were going over this in your stream because I didn't have time, nor did I have the energy. But it's like, think of like manager cogs. They are like filling into a role that's like a manager cog. Not exactly manager cogs, but like it's not the grunt cog anymore. It's not the general walk around and run up and fight it type cog. It is a special cog with special properties that you see in very particular areas or instances, but it is not your general everyday cog. It's been removed from that pool. So and that kind of removes its identity. And so it just begs the question, like, are they only going to do this for board bots? Is this going to change like different tiers where sell bots are a certain tier and then cash bots are a certain tier and have different sort of levels and promotions and abilities?
And then like, what do you do with board bot buildings? Does it become a TTR joint ventures kind of thing, or how does that work?
Exactly. And it's like, can you even have a board bot building anymore? What is that? What does that look like? So obviously, just with that change alone, they have to completely revamp their task system, completely revamp like their their leveling system for like there's not really going to be a board bot suit anymore, is there?
Cog disguises were something I don't think the blog post touched on, but this link I just gave you is the Toontown Corporate Clash wiki page for Gears and Gizmos that the community has been going in and updating. And there are some additional context points that have been added based on Discord messages from people like Sir Tubby Cheesy Fish, who is like one of the like lead like go-getters of some aspects of this update, including something later on in the blog post that was mentioned that we'll get to. But this is like something that the community is constantly updating based on certain things that are being brought up in conversations. Like charts, there's a chart in here that I didn't see before. There's like a bunch of different like teasers and additional images that are not covered in the blog post. There's a fan-made explanation of something that we'll talk about later. So yeah, I'm letting you lead in terms of where
it's okay. We're all over the place. Maybe I should have like tried to structure this better to have a good flow, but we're jumping in there.
We're jumping in.
So with interns and seniors, it's basically board bots. Board bots cannot be seniors or interns. Managers cannot be seniors or interns. So that's like even different than what board bots are, because board bots is the special ability and passive ability, and will now come with a charge bar that determines when they will use their special abilities. Which, you know, if anything, this kind of reminds me of like ODS, how the ODS cogs would have like a special ability. So it's not too far straight off of like that. So I see the familiarity. And like, if this was the one change that they made, I think together as a community, we'd all be like, okay. If this is it, then okay. But also you got to remember, there's all of this too. So I think what really it is there's so many changes all coming together that it's like if you remove one ingredient, it's still mostly the same cake. But if you remove every ingredient and replace it with different ingredients, now you've got a pasta instead of a cake, you know?
Sure.
And that's kind of what's going on here. And is the pasta good or not? I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah. The deal with interns is that they will probably have higher spawn rates in the lower end playgrounds like Toontown Central, you know, and then the seniors will have a lower chance in those playgrounds and a much higher chance in the later playgrounds. So that's another distinction too.
So so board boss managers, intern spawn rate. So is it like an intern is different than a regular cog, or is it just every cog is either an intern or a senior?
I think it's different from a regular cog.
That's interesting. So it's like because you could have a flunky, and then you can have flunky intern, and then flunky senior?
I believe so, because of the like abilities that come with like the interns and like the seniors, the little things that make them different from just a regular, because they have the intern or senior title below their level, right? So if a cog doesn't have the designation below their level, then that means that it's neither an intern or a senior, right?
Yeah, because so there was like a glad hander, and then now he's glad hander senior.
That's right, because of the board bot turning that cog into a senior's, right?
So that's already so much.
Yeah, it's a whole medley of things at work that changes how the cogs are, you know, at play.
I think it's something I could get used to if it's just there, and I would just be like, oh, okay.
You know, I think this is one of many things that requires like enough play testing to really get right, and we won't really know how it feels until we actually get the chance to play test it, or you know, see it in the live game.
And there's something I saw on Twitter as well where somebody was saying, they're like, yeah, you got to understand that there's going to be a difference from the people who have been working on this for the past year and play testing it and fiddling with it, and then the people on the outside who just received all this information at once.
Yeah,
it's like it might make sense to you and you can write it out to the best of your ability, but to these people it's different and it's new and it's scary and it's and it's a lot. So it might make sense to you, but it'll be really hard for these people to get that conveyed message until they get their hands on it and experience with it, just like the developers did. So it's really interesting looking at this from the outside.
I think it's really important to call out that this is like part of an effort to be more transparent with communication. And the reason I'm calling that out now is because a lot of this information that we're going to be digesting is like, you know, like they could have withheld this information until it was coming out in the trailer.
They could have like done the trailer for when it comes out a month beforehand, and everyone's trying to dissect it, being like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Why doesn't where's lure? You know?
But this is something that they really want to like get feedback on and fine tune, and you'll see things that we cover later that like, you know, the feedback is actually already making an impact in terms of like, you know, community sentiment and like what things are going to be fleshed out as. So, and maybe the wiki does cover it or not, I don't know, but it's all heavily work in progress and subject to change, and that's something to keep in mind as we go forward. So board bots, interns, seniors, what else?
That's already a lot, but they're doing some cog level changes, and this is something that you cannot take at face value.
No,
this
you can't.
Is because people were looking at the images and they saw, I think it was like a level here. Let me
level
at least
47 Mingler,
the level 47 Mingler, the level 36 Gladhander. Yeah, and people were like freaking out. They're like, oh my god, that's so high. They're gonna have like level 50s walking around. No,
But then you look at one
like,
of the gifts and you're like, wait, the tunes just took 158 damage?
mm-hmm.
That's like more than the
Essentially,
max laugh right
the
now.
easiest way to think of it is just everything got scaled. If it helps in your mind, just pretend it got scaled by 10. A level 60 is actually just a level 6. A level 80 is just a level 8. The 150 damage is really just 15. That's not the exact numbers, but it's if it helps you process it, that's essentially the same idea. What they did, and you'll notice this with a lot of things, they kind of like Wizard 101 did, where like the whole first world of Wizard 101, you go from levels 1 to 10, and all of the enemies go from levels 1 to 10. In the second world, all the levels go from 11 to 20, and you go from level 11 to 20. And that's just what they're doing here. So depending on the playground, it's going to have levels X through Y, and as long as you are within that level range, you will be able to defeat that cog. So if you see a level 50, it's not because, oh my goodness, it has 9,000 health and it's going to do 50 damage per attack and I only have 100 damage and I'm going to die. It's get that out of your mind. Everything got revamped from damages to health amounts to levels. All of it is fresh, and it's just something that you're going to have to get a feel for once you can play this.
Yep.
So
100%.
that's my best way of putting it. I don't know if you had any thoughts on this. Like, the thing is, I don't hate this because it's not necessarily that big of, like, it's a big change, but like gameplay wise, again, it's just scaling, right?
I think that this will be something that, people can get used to. Obviously, I think there's a chance that it's going to be like hard for a number of players to get used to the idea and to break down what people are normally used to and completely wipe the slate clean and start over with like a whole new formula with the health and the leveling system. Even the tune leveling system, it goes down from like a max of 85 to 60 now, and that's all part of the scaling. When I started reading into it, and I put it in like the sphere that it's being presented in, it made sense in terms of the scaling. It's just going to take time to get used to how that scaling works.
And that's the thing here is that, like, fundamentally, yes, this makes sense because this is how every MMO works ever. If you play Wizard 101, if you play New World, if you play World of Warcraft, that's just how all of them work. But the thing is, and this is the big point of why people don't like it, it's not how Toontown works, and it's never how Toontown has worked. When Clash first kind of implemented a level system as opposed to, like, earning laugh boosts from tasks, people were pretty much okay with it, because you still did tune tasks and the laugh still matched what you'd expect it to, and the damages still matched what they expected to, and the cogs and the health still matched what you expected to. It was still in that digestible Toontown formula, but now with everything scaling, it no longer is Toontown numbers. Toontown numbers has always been, Cupcake does like 6 damage, and Birthday Cake does 100 damage, and a level 12 cog has 200 health, except not anymore. It's like 196. But you know what I'm saying? This has been the same in every single Toontown server.
And you could throw all of it out the window.
It's not. Yeah, throw it all out the window. And that's why people are saying it doesn't feel like Toontown anymore, because there are fundamental base principles of Toontown that that if you fiddle with it, it will no longer feel like Toontown. And this is one of those things that when you fiddle with it, it no longer feels like Toontown. You don't have a cake that does 500 damage unless, like, I think what Clash did brilliantly was be able to do things like setups where you use Squirt to weaken the cog and you use like SOS cards and you do this and you do that. Fundamentally, your wedding cake would still do like 130 damage, but with all of these boosts, you can get it to do more damage. And that was one of the clever aspects of Clash, in my opinion, was that they were so good of making it still feel like Toontown. It was still core Toontown. People recognized it as Toontown. It was digestible as a brand new player to come in and see that it is still Toontown, but then learn the new things that you can use to pair the old Toontown physics and the old Toontown foundation into new strategies. Now, you don't even have that core Toontown foundation anymore. Like, physically, the way it looks, you're still throwing a birthday cake, but when it's doing 500 damage to a cog that has 3,000 health and that's seen as normal now, that's not going to translate as well. I mean,
at this point, if I spawn into my tune on this new update, I need something automatic to happen to where Lord Loud and Clear like summons me into the tutorial and he's like, hey, look,
Sit down,
listen.
breathe for a second. Do you
I
need some water?
I I have a few things to tell you. Actually, I have 8 different seminars that I need to walk you through right now before you can be let back out into the world of Toontown.
Mm-hmm.
And each seminar is like 45 minutes long. So I hope you brought some water. Like, you know, like it's a lot, y'all.
It
And
is.
I mean, even the gags are like, yeah. We
And
need a lot of
this
changes to
isn't
that.
me complaining about it. I'm just conveying why
Yeah.
there are parts of the community who will not agree with it. Parts of the community love this and they think it's great, and that's awesome. Parts of it will not, and it's for that reason. And now you kind of understand why. And I think that's okay. This is their game. They can make it the way they want. They're not necessarily making a bad game. I don't think these are
Yeah.
bad, because this does match
Like-
MMOs that are successful.
It
It's
does.
just not what we expect from Toontown, and that's
Right.
the
And I mean, like,
pinnacle
there are
point here.
certain things that like we aren't expecting from with Toontown with some of the other current projects that are in the works, like Toontown
Mhm.
Event Horizon and Toontown Hostile Takeover, which I, by the way, only just learned of. And not to mention, Toontown The Grindworks also is doing their own like formula with single player instead of multiplayer.
That
anyway.
game's awesome, and there's a new
It is
update coming
awesome.
out this Saturday. So
Yeah, it'll be out before we
before
sit
the
down
next
and film another
episode.
podcast episode.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We'll
so-
probably talk about it in the next episode.
Oh yeah, I think we will.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert. But Aaron, what else is there to talk about in this blog post?
I did want to touch upon one more thing, and that's just
Of course.
like when they change things like this, it does make a difference, because even though you are throwing a cake, the reason why I always complained about specific updates when it comes to Toontowns in general is because a lot of things that Toontowns tend to add are just like physical changes, the way the things look. So whenever a Toontown adds a new cog type, yes, they look cool, that's great, but it doesn't actually change the gameplay, it doesn't add anything new to the gameplay. If you strip away the names and the designs, if you just think of like everything as a silhouette or an outline, you have Toon, you have cog, your Toon has cake, cog level 8, cake take out cog level 8. That's your core gameplay. That doesn't change no matter if it's a brand new cog or not a brand new cog, or if you add a new Toon species or not a new Toon species. It's cool when they add these like physical changes, but fundamentally the game itself doesn't change. And that's kind of what people are expecting from Toontown is Toon, cake, hit level 8, die. And when you change that on not just a little scale, because Corporate Clash has changed that on a little scale before, where you know, their gags do different damages, but they're still relatively within the same window. When you change that on such a fundamental level, that's what's different. It's not physically looking different. Yeah, you're still throwing the cake, you're still using sound, you're still using zap, but it's the core fundamental of what you're doing is now different. So that's where I want to lay that foundation.
Which can either be better or for worse,
It could
depending
be.
on how
We
the
don't know.
playtesting goes.
I'm just letting you know that that's how it's being seen. What do we got? Miscellaneous changes. All cogs in battle will now use static positioning, means they will not bunch up together when a cog in the middle of the two is defeated, which is interesting.
Yeah, so I feel like we've seen that in other games outside Toontown. So like instead of the cogs like stepping to the right whenever like one cog gets defeated, they just stay in their current like position. You can actually preset a trap gag like the wrecking ball on an empty space in the battle where a cog may have already been or where a cog could later join. So if you're in like Lawbot headquarters, there's a lot of cogs wandering around. You had that trap already set for when that fourth cog does join, and that's where it could be assigned, that trap gag. So it brings a whole new meaning to like pre-trapping. You know?
Yeah, it kind of, yeah. But we'll also get to that as well, because other miscellaneous changes, certain managers will need reworks because they're basically changing, again, fundamentally how the gags work,
right.
how the damages work, how the cogs work. They're essentially changing the entire battle system all over
They're
again.
also reassigning some of the managers who are board bots.
Yeah, because they can't be board
other
bots anymore.
departments,
You know?
Which is,
But that's just that's what I'm
you
talking
know.
about with a like physical change, the way it looks. Like, okay, you change the little symbol on their chest, that really doesn't change the way the battle works. Doing this, changing the way the gags work and the health works and the level works, that's what changes the battle, you know? So But yeah, they're notable examples, and they give like half of the bosses need to be reworked. Pace setter, chainsaw consultant, tree killer, deep diver, multi slacker, major player, pre thinker, all are gonna need to be changed. So they're redoing everything, right? Yes men are mentioned to be a defensive cog. They're gonna have defensive cogs now and offensive cogs. So it's really interesting. So let's get to the gag changes, because there's some gag changes, which I think is really interesting. They called it gag trees because it's kind of a nod to like your gag trees at your estate, but they're no longer physical trees.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the actual trees. Yeah, yeah.
So to kind of go over this quickly without getting too in depth on this, it's instead of prestiges where in TTR you plant the
like
tree,
organic
the gag
gags.
does 10% damage. In Corporate Clash, you get a little gag point and you put it into the slot, and maybe the gag does an extra 10% damage, or maybe it gives it another special ability. It's usually one of those things, and I think they did a really good job with that. Now it's like an entire like branching path where like you're choosing to prestige drop, and then you can choose A or B, and then through A you can also go to the next one. It's what is those trees in games? The skill trees. It's basically a skill tree, but in Toontown. And honestly, I wasn't against this either. I think this is actually really, really neat. Although when it comes to things like this, you're usually going to get some sort of elitism, like in the nicest way possible.
Of course.
People are going to figure out what the best ones are, and they're not going to invite you to the major player group unless you've got drop SAA2, We can't two-turn him if you don't have SAA2, all right? Like,
bro, I'm dead.
It's going to happen. But
is.
I do like this because it allows you to come up with new strategies and play kind of more the way that you want, or fiddle around and see what works and what doesn't. People can do more than just be soundless or more than just be dropless. They can now be like, oh, I have this specific throw prestige, and then this person has a specific trap prestige that all work in tandem to do some really cool things. So I'm not against this. I actually think this is really cool. And if it fleshes out and they make it look really good, I think that could be a really good addition to Corporate Clash. So I think honestly, maybe
depends on playtesting. Yep.
Yeah, this is playtesting. This is one of those where, for the most part, I'm kind of on the side of hesitation for a lot of these changes and updates. Yeah. But this is one where I'm over here and I'm like, this is actually pretty cool. Yeah, no, this is pretty good.
It kind of gave me like Slay the Spire vibes a little bit.
A little bit?
Like you're kind of like, it's kind of like you're taking your cards, you're like building out your deck a little bit, which I think Event Horizon is doing a little bit more of. But it kind of gave me those vibes a little bit. Like, oh yeah, add like 30% damage, but
yeah, all tunes are healed by 30% of the splash damage.
Yeah. Like, whoa, like,
that's pretty cool, and that'll be fun to see what it can do. Increase loss damage from soaking a burning cog to 100%. Whoa. So
burning.
Burning, we'll get to that in a moment, because I think is that further down? Yeah, that's further down. We'll get to that.
Yeah, it is.
Then we're going to go to the down system. So I think the down system is actually a really good idea, too. This is absolute W. Like, I don't know why this...
also something that it's very coincidental, but I have to call out that Event Horizon put out a blog post like the day prior introducing the hold on or down system, and then the next day Corporate Clash just so happened to come out with the down system.
Well, the fact of the matter is it's a good idea. It's been in Wizard 101 forever. It's been in other MMOs forever. I'm surprised it was never in Toontown, and so it's a good thing when two teams have the same good idea and we get more of it, So essentially,
like one of the trends of interest in the community. So
if you go sad in a battle, you don't get teleported back to the playground. You sit there, and someone can basically, someone can heal you and bring you back. You only lose when everybody goes sad simultaneously.
Yeah, and I think that if you do get brought back into the battle, like, you're still feeling the effects of being down, so you take a few turns in order to like reduce the damage like reduction that your gags have. Like,
I do see that. I feel like that probably isn't necessary, but like it's their design choice. It's a creative decision.
See how it is when we
I don't think it's a bad choice. I just don't think it's necessary, and that's just me. That's fine. That's just me. Yeah. So, but
what else?
Yeah, that's the down system. Good change. Miscellaneous changes. All gags will have 100% accuracy. I also think that's a good change. I
Also an Event Horizon.
I think
Yes.
that's a good change. That I mean, they have that in the
Grindworks.
Grindworks. They have that in Grindworks. They have that in Event Horizon. Adding it to Corporate Clash, I think that's a great idea. Why have gags miss? Why could gags miss? Just
Why does TuneUp still have to miss in Toontown Rewritten?
I think that's
I've never
ridiculous,
understood
right?
that.
I'm surprised that that's not 100%. And I actually thought that was for a moment, but maybe it's not. That's crazy.
It's not.
TTR, get on
promise
it. Fix
you.
it. You can make everything else miss in TTR as long as you can make tune up 100%. Because like,
If I'm juggling cubes beautifully one
what did
turn
my
and
tune
the
close
same as
its
the other
eyes? It
turn-
doesn't see it. It didn't hear the joke. You know, can't believe it. So gags having 100% accuracy, great idea. Absolutely for that. Combo damage being removed. I think I can't say I'm against it because I don't know how it's going to fit into the
Yeah,
restructure,
sure.
right? Because it's
Yeah.
like maybe it makes sense for damage or combo damage to be removed because of the way that the new gag setups are. Like as we go down, you're going to see like throw is going to ricochet off of 3 cogs and trap doesn't even there's no lure and trap is setting off by hitting a cog several times. And so it's like maybe it makes sense to not have combo damage. But again, it's one of those like fundamental things that everybody knows about Toontown. If we all use the same gag, we do more damage, and that's just what we know. And then you take away that fundamental truth, and now people are unfamiliar with it, and they're not really understanding it. So a lot of fundamental truths of Toontown being removed here, and that's just one of them.
Exactly.
But yeah, there are still boosts and bonuses kind of similar to what you'd see again from Wizard 101 or what we used to get from SOS cards. So that's not necessarily all of that groundbreaking, but it's something that I could see. But here now we got some like specific gags, right? Tune-up cheer will now buff incoming healing rather than accuracy, which, you know, can't buff accuracy if accuracy is 100% already. And then all tune-up gags will now let you select between 1 and 4 targets to heal and split the heal between them. Honestly, good choice.
I think it's interesting. I do like being able to like either have the entire healing like amount be sent to one person or to divide it and conquer between your friends.
They will have to like change the scale at which like tune-up goes. They probably won't even do like singular tune-up group tune-up singular tune-up group tune-up anymore. It'll probably just all be the ability to select all or a single one, and then just have a gradual range as it goes up. But I do think, because it's like there's many instances where like 2 people desperately need a tune-up and 2 people don't. So it's like, what, do you each do a single tune-up, or one person will use juggling cubes and it kind of tunes up these people and then it's not even affecting the other guy. And this is actually a pretty cool idea, and I'm not against that at all, and I think that's pretty dope. So but that's
the next gag.
We'll see. That's for tune-up. Trap, this one's an interesting one. Trap will no longer activate with lure and will instead require 2 to 3 gags to hit the trapped cog, depending on how many gag tree nodes are invested into before the trap will trigger. That is sentence.
You might need only 2 hits instead of 3 hits for the trap to be activated.
Traps cannot be placed on spots that do not currently have a cog in them. I think that's something you were talking about, how you could like pre-trap. I don't know if they're going to change that or not. The executive cog damage bonus and the dazed status are being removed. And it's like, again, it might go along with their whole revamp of the way that the fighting system goes, but that's just one of those fundamental truths that I'm against. I don't need to see the entire... I think they had a good battle system. I liked their battle system. I liked how they added... Like, they had a core battle system that felt Toontown, and then added other things like prestiges and SOS cards that help build it and make it more powerful by using tools to enhance what you have instead of just fundamentally changing what we had. So that's why, and whenever it comes to anything like this, you know, the bonus damage and day status being removed is because of the fact that they're revamping the entire battle system all over again, and it doesn't make sense in the current battle system, which is the whole reason why their argument of getting rid of lure. Like, you don't need lure if everything has 100% accuracy anyway. And it's like, well, yeah, but lure also makes it where we get knockback damage and allows us to use trap. And now they're like, well, actually, you can use trap now by throwing it down and throwing gags at them, and You know, and it's
They'll get
it's a
distracted
lot.
and step forward.
It is so much. There is so much.
In
But yeah,
fact,
there's.
lure is not even going to be lure anymore, Aaron.
Is it even like? Do they just not have lure, or is it something else now, or?
It's a different name now.
All right, Lure Days. Lure is
That's
being
where the name
entirely
Days
reworked
goes.
and named to Days. Days gags will target 2 adjacent cogs and apply 2 stacks, increase to 3 with the trunk node unlocked, of Days to both cogs. Unlike with Lure, dazed cogs will be able to attack during their turn. Each time a gag hits a dazed cog, 1 stack will be consumed and will deal an additional flat damage to a cog. Each time a dazed cog attacks, they will lose 1 stack of daze and will deal reduced damage by the same flat amount. If an AoE attack is used, this flat damage reduction will be split between all the tunes. I just, like, again, they're revamping the system. I think it's unnecessary, but this is their vision, and I'm going to let them do their vision. But that's... What are your thoughts, Michael?
Yeah, I mean,
I need water.
Yeah, this man needs a break, one of many. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, we really won't know how it works until we play test it, honestly. Whether the community thinks it's necessary or unnecessary or this or that, like, you know.
Yeah, because the fact of the matter is that all of this encompasses a brand new battle system that we have not touched.
It's a brand new
every
Toontown.
little instance of change you can't say is good or bad because you don't have a grasp on the entire battle system. So we can't say the removal of lure is good, or the removal of lure is bad, or the way that like throw works now is good or bad, or the way that squirt splash works is good or bad, because at this point you have to look at everything in front of you and encompass new battle system as one entity and say, do I like this or do I not? Instead of trying to nitpick like, oh, I like the change to throw, but I don't like the change to squirt, but I do like the change to trap, but I don't like the change to lure. And so it's...
Aaron, people are going to nitpick.
They're absolutely going to nitpick, but you can't because you don't know how it's going to function because you haven't tried it yet. So it's like, maybe these are good changes in the battle system that they have, but do you actually like the new battle system is the bottom line question. So here's with Throw. While mostly unchanged, Throw will now be the only instant single target damage dealer. So everything else is AoE. Everything.
Yep.
The throw damage values will increase to account for increased cog health values. So Cupcake now does 50. Fruit Pie Slice now does 95. Cream Pie Slice is 140. Birthday Cake Slice 180. And so it's like, it's almost like it times it by 10, but not really, because now the Wedding Cake is only 380. So it's a very interesting gradual scale.
Yeah.
It's definitely foreign to me.
Yeah, it's definitely foreign, but it's also the most like unchanged track. So yeah.
And if all they're doing is changing amounts, that's it. That's the least change. Then we have
Squirt is also being renamed.
Squirt Splash. Is it just being renamed to Splash?
It's gonna be Splash.
Why would you rename it?
You didn't catch that? Read it. It's gonna be Splash.
Squirt is being renamed to Splash, but is mostly unchanged otherwise. Some new effects can be seen in the below GIF. Namely, these 3 effects are chilled, drenched, and pooled. Drenched is stated to not work like it did in the 1.30 partner Q&A. So I'm under the impression that it doesn't lower their defense by 25% or 20% or whatever it was. It just looks like it's plussing a green amount. I'm not sure what that green amount is. I don't think anybody really does.
Right.
So that's interesting.
I think renaming the Squirt gag track, I mean, sure, you get rid of the Squirt jokes that come with it.
That was part of the charm.
I know. Yeah,
you still have whole cream pie.
You do have whole cream pie. But yeah, I think it's very interesting that one of like the baseline tracks that is like fundamental to like every new Toontown player experience is getting renamed to Splash. It's not, and like to me, it's not what I'm used to calling it. I'm gonna keep calling it Squirt.
Oh, me too. And the thing is,
fundamental of a gag track.
It's not even like that's the point that we're like nitpicking, being all like, oh, this is unplayable because Squirt got changed to Splash. Again, encompassing a greater change to the entire battle system.
Yeah, I'm nitpicking. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You're totally fine. That's kind of what we're doing here. But if you agree or disagree with it, it's because you either agree with the entire battle system or you disagree with the entire battle system. That's what's going on here.
And for me, at least, I don't know whether I agree or disagree. So
Come on, Michael, take a stand.
nah, I'm gonna wait until I can get my hands on it. So
I know, if anything, what it does for you is it makes you curious. You're just like, this is intriguing.
exactly.
And you don't know if you like it or dislike it. Like, your initial reaction is more of a questioning and wonder rather than a distaste or
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's not that it doesn't make you excited, because you are excited to try something new, but
Yeah.
not excited in the sense of like, oh, this is going to be awesome. It's more of a wonder.
Yeah, like
Wonder,
well,
excitement.
yeah. There is something gag related later on that has me excited, but
We'll get to that. So
we'll get to
Zap.
that.
Zap is relatively unchanged, but it is stated that things will get interesting with its gag tree. I don't know, man. That's
We don't
just
know.
code for we're going to change it by a lot and we don't want to tell you yet. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Sound. Sound will now split its damage evenly between all hit targets. The number of targets hit with sound will now depend on how you invest it into its tree. Encore has been renamed to Fortissimo and will now reduce the damage you take instead of increasing the damage you deal. One of the sound tree bonuses is named Sound Wall. So essentially it's like Tune Up, but to the cogs. So now sound
kind of
isn't
is.
completely useless against one cog. You can still use it. It'll still do damage.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I wouldn't even say
think-
I'm against that idea, but it's
I think
also
that's gonna
like
take some rewiring because people only use sound on like groups of cogs.
Mhm.
You know.
But the fact of the matter is it also kind of fundamentally changes what sound is and what it's used for. And at
Yeah.
this point, like, why even use sound if like the Splash is doing very similar things, you know? Because that's what we always said before, is that, like, you know, Squirt Zap is just kind of the makeshift sound, and they each had their uses for sure, but it is interesting that sound
And it sounds like you could still use them as like the makeshift sound. So I don't know.
But the thing is, it sounds like if sound is going to be so much more powerful against one cog, you're only going to really try to use it against one cog, and maybe you're just using Squirt on multiple cogs instead. Or you're only using sound if there's 4 cogs, and now the baseline understanding of when we use sound is now changed. You know, you walk into Toontown, every Toontown server, multiple cogs, you use sound. and now that's not necessarily the case. It's those fundamental truths that are being changed that are challenging players to look at it differently that some people will not like. And that's just how it is.
Yep.
Drop. Drop will now take
Drop.
1 to 2 turns to deal damage after use, depending on which gag tree nodes you invest into. So like Trap, drops can be set on any space, including ones without cogs currently in them. Okay, so like they are reassuring that you can use Trap on a space that nobody's there. So it's like you can drop there, and it's like getting ready to be used on the next turn.
It's like somebody like flies in and it's like Lakitu flies in and like is hanging it by a thread over the cog.
It's
just waiting for it to be
mid-fall.
cut.
It's slowly
Yeah.
coming down.
Yeah. So,
Again, another one of those fundamental changing of
Yep.
the way it works that people will either agree with or disagree with, and you won't really know until you get to play with it.
I will say from a feeling perspective, when I saw like the shadow grow and then just like
Stop.
nothing, like it stops, like to me, it like from a first impression, I was like, that's just not
It
like
feels unnatural.
it feels a little, which I mean, it's Toontown, but like even
Mhm.
then, like to me, it's like I don't know, like it just like that was one of the weird ones for me.
It feels
Like,
unnatural to
visually.
Toontown.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But...
And then we have the interesting one, the burn gags.
So, you know, it's interesting. We're seeing the era of new gags start to come up for Toontown as a whole. Toontown Rewritten announced brand new gags for their game at Toonfest. We don't know anything about it. But Corporate Clash is like, hey, Sir Tubby was like, hey, I've had this idea since the game first launched, since, 6-7 years ago. And now we're actually bringing it to the game, and it's the burn gag track. So
They're a
what's the
brand new
deal with
damage
burn?
over time track that will be
Yep.
targeted between cogs. They will deal an initial hit of damage and place a DOT effect on the targeted cogs. They are stated to be the strongest gags in terms of pure damage when adding up the total damage from the DOT, and they're used between sound and zap. One gag is the spicy pepper gag, but
which I like. I think
essentially this is the spin gag from Tooniversal. It is. It's a new coat of paint.
Yeah.
It's you hit one
It
cog
basically is.
and it does damage over time, and that's what it is. And so, like, if you strip away the way it looks, if it's called burn, if it's called spin, you hit a cog, damage over time. The reason why it failed in Tooniversal, in my opinion, is because of the fact that every single cog generally dies in 1 to 2 turns anyway, so you don't get the full effect of getting to use your damage over time. I think it could have worked in Clash in the state it's in right now, because you do have these bosses that you plan on taking 15, 16 turns to beat, like Pace Setter and like Multi-Slacker, Chainsaw, stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like if you just implemented burn gags like this, I think people would be going nuts over this. I think they'd think it's awesome. They're like, wow, new strategy unlocked. Let's go. But
100%.
I think the reason why they're introducing it now is because it's going to fit that better mentality of the new structure of the battle system, because the way that it was explained to me was that this new structure is not intended for you to walk up to a cog and defeat it in 1 turn. That's just not going to happen anymore. And so if every battle is intended to take 3, 4, 5 turns, then something like this becomes more relevant and you're going to be using it more often, which, again, changes the fundamental groundwork of what we know about Toontown. You used to be able to run up to a flunky, hit it with a pie, and move on. Can't do that anymore. And
this is going to affect the task line. It's going to affect
everything's changing.
Everything is changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
defeat 100 cogs is probably defeat 50 cogs, like stuff like that.
It might even be just defeat like 10 because it's going to take so long. You think of it like Wizard 101, where they tell you to defeat 3 of the fairy out there, and you got to run out and defeat 3 of the fairies just in that little area.
Exactly.
It's like if you literally relate this to Wizard 101, everything makes so much more sense.
It's real.
But,
so real.
Like, I think this could have had a place in Corporate Clash right now. This would not fit in other Toontown servers because other Toontown servers don't have those specialized cogs. I guess TTR kind of does now, where it's like the end of facility bosses kind of have more health, or even the boiler has a big health bar where it would make sense. But you're not really gonna burn the boiler,
No, you can't really do that. No.
Maybe if it was something
the factory
else.
Foreman,
but there's a reason why it would have worked in Corporate Clash and not others, and I think it would have been fine, but we'll have to see how it works with the whole revamp system. But I like the idea of burn.
Yeah.
But I think I would have liked it more in the current state of Corporate Clash rather than them shoehorning it into this big update and kind of. I'm sure it'll still work fine.
I'm sure they wanted to introduce burn gags like a long time ago in the current state of Clash. So I mean,
and I think it would have worked great. I think people would have
probably would have worked. It probably would have been institutionalized already before like this massive 2.0 update is like coming out.
It also seems a little masochistic or masochist. I can't say the word.
The word?
Yeah, what's the word?
Is it Massachusetts?
I don't know. Masochist.
Massachusetts?
You're burning cogs. It's not very toony. That's not a gag.
It's Salem.
It's funny it's funny when the clown at the birthday party throws the pie and squirts the seltzer. It's not so funny when the clown burns your house down. Okay, like.
Bruh.
So I do think the idea of burn in general is interesting that they went with burn. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be funny, but it is kind of like, oh, these other gags are, gags, and this is an arsonist. This is arsony.
That word was in my chat a couple times when I got to the burn gag section. People are like, I can't believe I can commit arson now.
I know.
I don't know.
So it's interesting, just the coat of paint. Like DOT gags, if you take off the actual physical look of it, whether it's a spin gag or a burn gag or whatever it happens to be, I think a DOT gag would have worked well in Clash as it is. That's my bottom line here. So that's that. Do I want to read the whole thing about gag pouches? Oh my goodness, there's so much.
There's way too much, my dude.
There's like,
It's already
The
almost 8
Boatyard
p.m.
Brawler
too.
bag, pouch rank, pouch level, slots. Why? Why would you make all these changes? Why? But like, why? I'm gonna skip over that.
Gizmos.
I can't, bro. I'm skipping over that. What's a
Well,
gizmo?
pouches and gizmos do kind of go hand in hand a little bit.
So gizmos are the replacement for boss rewards. So boss rewards are gone, by the way.
Unites are gone, by the way.
No more IOUs, Sues, Fires, Unites gone. Fundamental core of Toontown gone. Things that you know Toontown for, things that are true in every Toontown server are no longer true in Corporate Clash. Actually, like, as a greater point, this is somebody else brought up. I don't even remember who, but I remember reading it where they're like, it feels like Corporate Clash wants to not be Toontown so badly that it is removing everything that's making it Toontown.
It's been a number of years since I first heard that sentiment where it's like, what if like Corporate Clash just removed Toontown from
and they were just Corporate Clash.
It's just Corporate
I
Clash.
remember hearing that back in like 2018, 2019, where they're like, the hopes is it could just be its standalone game. This is almost too standalone at this point. You're removing the fundamental truths. I think one of the reasons why Corporate Clash is as popular as it is because it is Toontown. People love Toontown. The Toontown community is crazy over Toontown. So when you're no longer making it Toontown, you're kind of alienating the whole group of people that gave you a platform in the first place.
And then I'm going to be streaming in the Toontown Online category when it's not Toontown.
Yeah, it's going to feel odd. I mean, that's the whole reason we stream under the Toontown Online category. If you guys don't know, there was this debacle, was it 2016? Where, like, it was a while ago, where every single Toontown server had its own specific like stream category on Twitch. You could stream under Toontown Rewritten, you could stream under Toontown Infinite, you could stream under Toontown Fellowship, and they each had their own little thing. And Toontown Online still existed as a thing. And some of us would stream under Toontown Fellowship or Toontown Infinite or Toontown Rewritten, and other of us just stuck to Toontown Online and we would just stream under Toontown Online. And the reason why a lot of us stuck to Toontown Online is because we were already a small community, and no matter what Toontown server you were playing, we wanted to kind of unify the entire community together so you can find everyone who's playing any Toontown at any time.
It's just a centralized hub for
It's a centralized hub for anything and everything Toontown. That's why even though Grindworks right now has its own like stream category, people who play Grindworks a lot of the time still use Toontown Online because it still falls under the Toontown umbrella, and it helps more people find them and discover Grindworks, because when people are searching up, they're just searching up Toontown. They're going to find Toontown Online. They're not going to find Toontown the Grindworks. They're not going to find Toontown Corporate Clash. So
like
if I may just finish my story real quick, we ended up talking to Twitch about it, being all like, we don't want all of this, can we just keep Toontown Online? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. And they got rid of all the other ones and we just had Toontown Online.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Twitch categories are like set aside by IGDB, so it's like independent game database, whatever, and they're the ones that listed these Toontown projects as like, you know, their own individual games, when as a matter of fact, they needed to be classified as mods of Toontown Online because they're their own private servers, they're their own like fan-made projects. You can't really do that with Toontown the Grindworks, which is why it has its own category, because it's really like its own game. It's a single player
and like roguelike. Evan gets that, and Evan's all like, yeah, I mean, we're not gonna try to fight tooth and nail to remove it, like
They tried,
but they're like, it's fine. And at this point, it comes down to the actual like streamers themselves on which category to use. But most of them, again, just use Toontown Online.
So all of this is to say that, like, in the context of Corporate Clash, like, you know, it's kind of becoming not Toontown.
Yeah, if you're removing your Toontown from it, like, what are you? What are you?
Yeah, I don't know. So it's I mean, it sounds like this version 2 update is really going to be like, you might as well call it Gears and Gizmos, or
just Gears and Gizmos Corporate Clash.
Corporate Gizmos.
Corporate Gizmos. Gizmos and Gadgets was a game from the 90s that I used to play. Look it up.
There you go.
Gizmos and Gadgets. My 30-year-olds will know.
Shoutouts,
right? All right, so what even are gizmos? Counterfeit printer and will function similar to existing counterfeits. Cog dummy, where you can put an empty cog slot into battle. And it's targetable by tunes and it goes away. I'm not sure, like, the pace setter can use rush jobs on the cog dummy.
So that could be a
Interesting.
strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to have you focus on like something that isn't like an actual cog. Those are the only like revealed gizmos. There's up to 35 gizmos already implemented. Just like
Can
for
of
pouches,
spinach.
yeah, for pouches there are over 90 gag pouches implemented as well. Gizmos are obtainable starting from Daffodil Gardens onwards. Um, there are no similar real-time gizmos to Unites. Like any real-time like rewards like Unites that you can use, those go away.
I think this is a unique, cool idea. I think it could have done really well on its own as an update where they added an additional reward on top of what we already have. But I didn't think we needed to get rid of what we had in to like replace it with this. Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
reading
s-
some of these and I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. Buff 2 turns
yeah,
gag effectiveness for 2 turn or 2 tunes gag
yeah,
effectiveness for 2 turns by 10%. However, your max laugh is lowered by 15% for 2 turns, right?
yeah,
Or allows the user to use 2 gags that turn. Like these are cool
yep,
ideas that I'm like, yeah, I think this had a place in Corporate Clash as it is. But what they're doing is they're kind of removing something else to put this in instead of just using this idea to build off of what they already have. And I think that's where the stigma comes from, is that people feel an attachment to the things they already know. They feel that
yeah,
attachment to fires and to unites and SOS cards, and they already made changes to those where like there
yep,
aren't summons anymore and you have cease and desists, and honestly
yep.
that still fit really well. And SOS cards no longer summon a tune to come do a thing for you, they just give you a power up, which like we got used to it. We're like, it is different, but it
Yeah,
didn't
and I mean
didn't
like,
change that core fundamental part of Toontown. it,
and I
it
mean
added
notice
to it.
like Aaron's still calling IOUs SOS cards. Like
that's
I'm still
that's
gonna
what we
call
know them
Squirt
as.
Squirt and not
that's
like,
that's because it's the fundamental truths of
yeah,
Toontown. That's what we know
exactly.
them as.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's an interesting addition that they got there. So I like
Like
the
when you
idea. I
introduce like the burn gag, it's gonna be known as the burn gag, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't changing the name is just, when you set the fundamental basis, it's really hard to break the wall down. Obviously, change is like tough sometimes, but like it can be
Mm-hmm.
welcomed. But I don't know. Yeah, the fundamentals are just too core to what Toontown is.
Mm-hmm. Then there's like other little changes. The battle timer went up to 60 seconds.
Oh boy, 20 extra seconds for us to not do anything until the last 5 seconds of the
Oh
battle. My
boy,
greatest
another
pet
20
peeve.
seconds to wait when someone leaves and goes
Yay!
AFK because they have to pee.
Yay! I mean, very thoughtful, Clash Crew. Very, very,
Mm-hmm.
very thoughtful. More time to step away from the keyboard. Yeah.
There's going to be a new way to obtain drops, I suppose, which I kind of liked the way that they were,
Yeah.
doing drops before. I thought adding drops to Toontown was awesome. I loved the
Oh yeah.
system before.
I think they're changing that altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't
I think you
know.
can. I think you can like purchase some drops depending on like what like of the rewards that you like acquire. If you're able to like craft it over time, like you can just like get the drops, so you're
You
not
can.
doing 100 pace setters to like finally get the
That's
shredder.
part of the fun. That's the point.
That's subjective, I guess. I don't know. It prompted this change. I don't know.
But you can also choose which drop you want in a particular battle, like in order. So it's like if you wanted the sticker over the hat, you can like prioritize getting
Yeah.
the sticker.
Yeah.
Like I guess, sure, why not? Like, I don't think it's bad. Fine. What else is going on here? Let me I'm going back to the actual like blog post and kind of skipping over the things that we
Yeah.
already talked about.
That's fine.
Base boost bonus system. Damage is split
Oh
into three
yeah.
components: the base damage, the percentage base
That's
damage
right.
boosts, the flat damage bonus, the
It's where
formula
you
for the
see
final
the
gag damage.
it's where you see the numbers below the base damage that slide up to form
Mm-hmm.
the actual like damage amount. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think that's a cool idea, but also they're completely changing the way that everything works altogether. So
You're gonna hear us say this 20 more times,
oh, at
everybody.
least 20 more times. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun to watch the numbers. I do kind of get a little tickle in my brain when I see the numbers, bloop,
To the
right? Like,
moon.
but I don't like the I don't like the whole math of how they changed all the gags.
Because I think the problem that Clash players are going to run into is that like there's obviously people that only play Clash, but for a lot of us that also play other servers, like having to swap the math formulas between
Mm-hmm.
games that we regularly play is going to be a big adjustment, you know.
I really don't think I like the trap change. I don't.
What do you not like about it?
I don't. It's always been you throw down a trap and you lure it. It's a two-part
Yep.
gag, you know? Like,
Yep.
the fact that you're just throwing it down and then it sits there and then it, like, randomly activates after you hit the cog enough times.
I don't know. It's kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of thing. The trap is set down, and you got to trip over the wire
They're
in
not
order to
tripping over. They're
activate
just
it.
standing on it. And then it's not going off. Because, I mean, it was like that before. You
Yeah.
put down the trap, and then you got to bring them into the trap. Now they're just standing
Yeah.
there on the trap already. There's a TNT at its feet, and it magically goes off because we hit them a couple times with Splash.
The wrecking ball magically swings in at the designated time because it knows that you just used throw a second time.
I know. Like, what? I don't know. I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's me. That's fine. I'm allowed to disagree with it, and that is okay. Scrolling down. I don't. Battle editor. What is a battle editor?
Oh yeah, they do have the battle editor. I think it's meant to be like a basis for like a lot of the like changes that they have and are going to make. So they yeah, I don't think it was in the wiki. I'm not sure
No,
why
it's not.
they
I had to go off of the wiki because we already went everything on the wiki.
Yeah, I'm surprised they as of this recording they haven't added it onto the wiki. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Corporate Clash battle system, I am gonna pull up the blog post just so I make sure I'm on the same page when it comes to that part. If I can get down here. Yep. Okay. So the battle editor, Travis has worked on it, and it's an in-house tool to make battle development streamlined and efficient.
So this is totally on their end.
Yeah, like it's pretty much, able to, get rid of the days of needing to load up like multiple clients just to test like a single battle change. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could just focus on this that does all that heavy lifting. And there's lots of configuration settings you can do to like try stuff out. It pretty much like is an investment into like the game's future to develop like new and exciting battles to expedite and improve the development process for those battles that they work on editing and like putting together. So when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
like the attacks, the suits, being able to like edit all the like data that like pertains to battles. So being able to like take the damage debuff of Ink Drain was the example, and being able to tweak that. Because the thing that I thought back to was like Toontown Rewritten's like Toonfest with how like they brought in Ron Weaver and he was talking about like some of the intricate code that like went into and like the animation, like the timing of it, and like the damage output from like certain attacks, and like that's kind of what I got reminded of when I started like reading through this.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that it can be picked up and used by anyone on the team, but having the programming knowledge, of course, is like really going to help everybody.
Oh yeah.
But any changes that are like made are applied upon like restarting the battle. So I think it's very much just like an in-house development tool.
And that's really cool. That is like some really cool progress that we saw on their back end, and a lot of good work went into that. It's a big thumbs. That's a W. That's a
It's
big
easy.
W.
It's easy to like give the W's to anything that makes things more efficient and streamlined and
Absolutely.
just like
I mean, TTR did something
yeah.
like this too with like their re-rigged, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They finished that project, right?
I remember at OMG Con when they like unveiled that animation of the dog like running in and like his hands are out. He's like, whoa, like, do y'all remember that in the comments? If you're watching this, like, let me know if you remember some of those animations. I think I still have them on like my camera roll from when I was like recording them on my phone. So yeah,
we love to see efficiency and back end stuff be done well. So then we probably have one of the things at the very bottom that is one of the most controversial takes that I know people are not too happy about.
There
How
already
will
are some
Ubers
responses
fare
to this.
in GAG and GAG? So some of you may be wondering if we'll be bringing back Ubers and GAG. No, the answer is no. There will be no Ubers in GAG, and existing Uber tunes will automatically be converted into normal tunes, and I think that's what people absolutely despise. Like they work so hard on their Uber tunes, and just to like get rid of them completely, again is one of those odd core fundamental truths of Toontown. It's not like TTR leans into Ubers, but they don't lean against them either. If you want to make an Uber in Toontown rewritten, you can. You stop getting laughed at a certain point, and you only get certain gags. Congratulations, you have an Uber. It's very similar to how it was in TTO. But because Ubers became such a community-centric thing, they started being applied into other games. Both ODS and Corporate Clash actually had the ability for you to choose like your level caps and what type of Uber you want and how many gag tracks you wanted or how much max laugh you wanted. And even Fellowship recently made an update where they added Ubers and one laugh Ubers. Genuinely, yeah. This is something I've said before. Doing the one laugh Uber through Corporate Clash was some of the most fun I ever had playing Toontown in my life. What a phenomenal game and experience. All time, from TTO through TTR, Corporate Clash, speed runs, whatever it happens to be, that 1 month of me making a brand new Uber, like one laugh Uber tune and trying to beat the game was amazing. And if I could re-experience that for the first time, oh God, I wish I could. That would top 10 life experience, #1 experience probably in all of Toontown gaming. And it just shows...
Do you have one laugh Uber right now?
I have two. I have two one laugh Ubers, okay. And they're just
sorry.
They already got rid of the one laugh Ubers, so now I just hold on to them as trophies. And I get why they got rid of one laugh Ubers in the past because of the fact that the changes to 1.3 didn't accommodate for one laugh Ubers, but that was never really the point of one laugh Ubers, right? It's like it was supposed to be a fun, unique way to experience the game, and I guess there's other arguments of how it could hinder other people, but really you can. As somebody who played it as one laugh Uber, I never took it personally if people didn't want to bring me into their group. You can choose to not bring that one laugh Uber into the group. You can choose not to go into a group with a one laugh Uber. I think there was like very like solid rules about how one laugh Ubers fit into the ecosystem of Corporate Clash. But the point is that at the beginning of Corporate Clash, as well as in many other servers right now, the idea of Ubers was celebrated. It was encouraged. It was part of the game because it was something that the community loved so much. Even if it was like a niche small part of the community, everyone I know at least has an Uber because it's just something fun to hop on every once in a while or something that they wanted to try out or even something to just say that they have one, right? It was a core fundamental piece of Toontown that is just now gone. It is completely alienated. It is cut off.
Corporate Clash... Yeah, they were kind of leaning away from it anyway, even, you know, as indicated by the removal of, like, creating one laugh Ubers.
Which I still disagree with. They should at least still allow it, you know, like, so you can have one. I understand why they don't have it now, because if you're going to change the entire battle system, which we've said 5 million times already, and they're changing the way levels work, and damage works, and health works, when everybody else has... 6,000 health because that's just how much health toons will have now. It doesn't make sense to have a toon capped at 35 health because they're going to get steamrolled by one attack from one cog.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be essentially be a one laugh Uber. So it's like, I get why it doesn't fit in their new ecosystem, but it's also one of the reasons why I'm kind of against the new ecosystem. I'm not telling them not to do it. I'm just saying this is probably not going to be for me. Because it's a little too far away from what I'm comfortable with and what I know Toontown to be. And
I've heard long time like players of Clash saying that this is making them think about quitting the game like altogether, and they have invested years of their time not only into the game but into their Uber tunes. But Aaron, surely the Clash crew is going to be like thinking about a great way to commemorate the people that have Uber tunes, right?
Each really, Uber tune will get a very special exclusive furniture item.
So I will chime in and say that the team has already gotten a lot of feedback on the whole Uber thing, and they're already going to be like finding a bit of a balance to what is displayed on this blog post. But yeah, like when I saw that, I think that was the one moment of my stream that my voice, eventually slightly raised, and I was like, this is not it. Like, I was
But it's
like,
it's
no.
like I get it. The fact of the matter is they have to take Ubers out if they're going to make this
Yes,
huge change to the
I said
game.
that too. Yeah.
So it's like
Like,
they're putting themselves up against a wall. They're like, we want
yeah.
to make this big ambitious change to the game, but by
Yep.
doing so, we have to kill Ubers. We
You
have to because they don't fit in this ecosystem, and that sucks. It
And at the end of
does.
the
It
day,
really sucks.
you're getting rid of, like, if you're trying to get Corporate Clash to like grow, and like if that's like the end goal, you're axing like a lot of your dedicated player base by
Hmm.
the with the removal of Ubers. What are you going to do to get the game to grow, you know, to get to that point that you're looking to get to? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know if like there was a lot of thought into it, if there wasn't a lot of thought into it.
There had
I
to
don't want
have
to
been a lot
assume.
of thought into it. I mean, obviously they have an
Right.
entire section apologizing for it. You know, this is not this decision
I
was not easy, but
I was I was reading this, like all this block of like these bullet points, especially where it's like, you know, every possible path that could be taken to directly help Ubers, they still fall into at least one of these points. We have acknowledged, like, yeah, if it's not going to fit in the new ecosystem, they have to get rid of it. But it
hmm.
was like some of the reasons, it just seemed a little condescending. It was like, you know, with attempting to make Ubers more viable or liked in Gears and Gizmos, you know, different possible paths, like, you know, if there's more than one Uber in the battle, if there's the issue of Ubers getting stomped by randomness that players can't and shouldn't fully control,
Hmm.
causes major trolls in game balance and or
Major tolls.
tolls in game balance and design. Sorry. And may not make them feel like Ubers anymore. Some Uber players may not want the game to cater to them. Difficulty is the point of their tune, and they would prefer to play with the hand they're dealt with. I disagree that some Uber players may not want the game to cater to them. You
No,
have to
definitely
know
not.
that, like,
Part
you know,
okay. Part of the fun of having
it
a one
seemed like
laugh
there were,
Uber is
yeah,
knowing that the game is stacked against you. Do
it,
you know how
it,
often people, you know how often I myself went into the directors, or is that what it is at
yeah,
the end of the game, at the very last
the
boss?
main task line,
Yeah, the
the
main task line.
directors.
I did that for 8 hours over and over and over again, trying to beat those as a one laugh Uber. It wasn't meant to be done, but I
Yeah.
had fun, and the people I went with had fun, and we were having fun, and we weren't hurting anyone doing so. It was how we enjoyed the game. We don't want it to cater to the one laugh Ubers. We don't want it to cater to the regular Ubers.
Nah.
We just want to enjoy the game that way because it was a fun, unique way to experience the game.
Having the
Every
challenge as the
Toontown understands
option,
this.
every Toontown understands it. And to go in and just assume what some players may or may not want, in my eyes, was just not it.
Hmm.
I was pretty, like, at this point, it's not like becoming an objective announcement blog post. It's becoming very almost as if it's like opinionated a little bit by
Hmm.
whoever wrote it. Like, it's just like, you know, I get that the team wholeheartedly believes that the decision is best for the game's health in the long term if this new ecosystem is truly like what it's like going to be, and it's not an easy decision. And you're not stopping players from making unofficial Uber like challenges. The game will no longer have them as like an official feature.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's one thing to just like not officially support Ubers anymore. And I mean, I kind of get that. People are still gonna like make the Ubers, they're gonna make the challenges. Like, you can't stop players from doing that. But to be so discouraging towards like such a like, you know, dedicated group of like the community, to get longtime players coming in being like, I'm not going to play the game anymore. Yeah, just to repeat, I just don't understand how that's good for the community.
I don't
I
think it
don't.
is. When it
I
comes to
don't.
the core of this, and this is kind of building off of like how the community feels about it, I'm just kind of wondering what their goal is. I have to assume with all of this, everything that we just went over for the past over an hour now,
Almost two
it's
hours.
because this is their vision. This is what they want to do with their game. It is not because they want it to be an official game that comes to Steam or Epic Games or
No.
anything like that. It's not because they expect it to enhance the player base and now thousands of people are going to be coming in from all corners of the internet to play this new experience. The only thing that I can see justifies all of these changes is because it is somebody's artistic expression of how they see Toontown, and they wanted to share that. And that is fine. If it's their Toontown server, they're absolutely welcome to do that and absolutely allowed to do that. But I will warn that the fact of the matter is Corporate Clash was already kind of a more complex game that only thrived off of a partial part of the Toontown community. When you add an update like this, it's going to alienate part of the group that was already hesitant to come over and try this game in the first place. There's a lot of people that I know that talked about how they were hesitant of trying out Toontown Corporate Clash because it was so different from TTR and so different from TTO. But I'm like, hey, you just got to play it. It's pretty much the same at the start, and as you get it's really self-explanatory, and it's really easy to pick up because all the core fundamentals are there, and then you learn the new things.
And you can't say that anymore.
You cannot say that anymore. When you have changed fundamentally everything about how the game works, you are going to get people who are absolutely excited for that. And I hope and pray that they enjoy it just as much as they hope that they do, right? There's a lot of people that are really excited to try all this out. And I hope it's good. And I hope they love it. I really do. But it is going to alienate some of the people that were already skeptical and already thought that Toontown Corporate Clash was a little much, and now it's splitting even more. If you thought Corporate Clash was dying before, it's probably not going to get any better. That's my final word on it.
I'm here for the big takes.
I'm not going to say the update is bad. I'm not going to say that the changes are bad. I'm saying that it's not going to reach as many players as the state it's currently in.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, I know things are going to be fine-tuned. We already know that, like, a lot of feedback is coming in. Things are going to be, like, tweaked. But, like, I mean, this blog post makes a statement at the end of the day.
It sure does.
Like, oh, man. Like, if this isn't one of the biggest, like, Toontown blog posts that I've ever seen in the past, like, 12 years of post TTO.
This is probably the biggest update and change any Toontown server has ever done.
I mean, wholeheartedly agree.
People thought TTR's change of like carrying less sound and revamping the facilities was a lot, and that already alienated some of the players from that. This is a whole nother level. This is several notches above that by a long shot. Because, I mean, I still think TTR still holds its fair amount of numbers. I think more people came back to check out the new stuff than the amount of people that left because they didn't like the changes. I don't know if that's going to be the case with this update.
Yeah.
So
now, I'm sure I'll speak for myself. I will certainly be around to, like, still, like, try these changes out, get a feel for them,
and I'm right there with you. I
want to don't like
this is content, you know.
It is content, yes, you know, but like, I mean, it doesn't mean we're gonna like one thing or just like the other thing or the whole picture, right? Like it's gonna be a lot of changes, and I mean, like the short-term effects are like, yeah, we're certainly gonna be there to try them out, but the long-term effects I think are gonna be really interesting to watch. Like how does this impact this game's future? Is it really better off, you know, after the development pause, like going this direction? I don't know. Like, there's just so many more question marks than there are exclamation marks or nods or whatever the heck. I don't know. Yeah, the Ubers thing I think was the big thing that really kind of like, I guess, fired me up, for lack of a better term, at this moment. But yeah, I didn't like that part of the blog post for sure. But
I don't blame you. I don't.
Yeah, we're certainly going to keep a close eye on everything that's going on with a lot of Toontown projects that have yet to come out, that are out, and that will be making big, massive, game-altering changes like this.
I might not agree that I will like the update, but I will play it to try it out and see if I'm wrong about my initial skepticisms. So I'll give it that. And then I'm also very eager to try Event Horizons, and I would love to see what Hostile Takeover has to offer. And like I said, Grindworks update coming out this weekend. It's actually
very excited.
There's, even though like some of the news about Corporate Clash doesn't get everybody as hyped as maybe they hoped it would, there is still a lot of news coming out for Toontown, which is crazy to say 20 years after the initial
For
launch
real.
of Toontown Online, and that's
It,
pretty cool.
like I remember when I first like saw that Toontown Online was closing, and like obviously I cried. My tears went viral. But
Hmm.
when I like started to like see what was going on with all the new fan innovations, like it got me really excited, and I'm really like happy that even after all this time, like you know I thought that I'd never be able to do or like do Toontown content or connect with my core audience ever again. And
Hmm.
we're both still connecting with our core audiences after all these years. We don't forget our roots and we're sticking to it. And it's pretty cool to like still have that opportunity, because there's a lot of communities that don't get that opportunity, or that there's no possible way for them to have that opportunity. But so I still find a lot of like moments of gratitude when I see even innovations like what Corporate Clash
Hmm.
is trying out. Uh,
Like, we're
but
blessed that we get to have those kind of changes and that we get to have these kind of conversations.
oh, for sure, that we get
Hmm.
to scream at things that we dislike because like
We're blessed that we get to be angry that Ubers are being removed.
yeah, and right, yeah, that agree.
At the end
But
of the day, guys, it's not all
yeah,
that serious. It's a video game. If
it
I really
definitely
hate it, I can play something else.
true. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, like we'll definitely be around to like try all this out, and I mean, I look forward to change and seeing how it goes. So,
Mm.
and there's probably things that are going to change after this blog post that we'll cover in the future that weren't mentioned in this blog post, or maybe are changed in response to community feedback. So,
Hmm.
we'll see how it goes, y'all. Yeah.
Well, I think that covers the entire blog post, though. You guys, by all means, please leave your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below, because I know you already have, because that's how people
We
are.
already have.
You
Yep.
already have. I'm
Well,
calling
there will
you out.
be. Yeah, you think there's how many essays do you think are going to be in the comments section?
At least 5, because it's like, I know SpeedChat Plus doesn't have the widest like subscriber base right now. We're at like 50 at the point of uploading this, but a video like this could definitely help push it up, and maybe we can get to 100. What do we think? Can we double our subscriber base,
Hey,
get up
can
to
we do
100?
it?
We might
That's our
actually get a
challenge.
few comments about it. So we do
Hit
talk
that
about
subscribe
Toontown
button.
updates. Subscribe. So we talk about stuff that isn't Toontown when there isn't Toontown news, but whenever there's
Yep.
Toontown news, we're talking about it. So
Yep.
hit the subscribe button. But before we
Absolutely.
go, I do want to I want to play a game, and then we're gonna do our game shoutouts. All right, you ready for the
Let's
game?
do it. I'm ready
All
for the
right,
game
I'm
of the
gonna share
week.
my screen here. Have it
All
up
right.
and ready. Do you see what we're looking at?
I see a Mickey Mouse and a duck that says you're a jerk.
You sure do. We're doing a Toontown quiz. We're gonna test your knowledge and
Yippee!
maybe mine about
Oh God.
Toontown Online.
Oh no. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
All right.
I'll do my best. Oh seven.
Oh
Here we
sevens. Let me
go.
also see if I can adjust this, because like I think because of the
Yeah, you're
stream
good.
quality, it's like lagging the
Ah,
yeah, okay, we're good. We're good.
we're
Okay.
good.
There oh yeah, now
We're
we look
good.
way better. All right, awesome. And you can still see it?
Yay. I still see it.
All right, awesome. So,
Sir.
here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Bam! Quiz time. How deep is your knowledge about Toontown Online? And we already have the first question up. Question number 1, Michael. When was the Toontown beta available to the public?
So the Toontown beta
Beta
was available to the
specifically, not the
public.
release date of the
So
actual
yeah,
game.
because we all know that Toontown Online was released in
2003.
2003,
Mm-hmm.
but this answer is not 2003.
No, because
It's
it's the Toontown beta, but it's also available to the public.
yeah, I really want to like it's either the top two answers, and my gut is telling me 2001.
My gut's also telling me 2001. So we're
It
gonna shoot
could be
2001.
2002.
Oh, it didn't
Okay,
tell us
we'll
if we
find
got it
out.
right. I
We'll
guess
find
we'll get
out.
it at the end. All right.
We'll
So,
find out.
but when was Toontown officially released? This one we
I
know.
already
This one we know.
answered. I already
2003,
answered.
baby. 2003.
All right.
When or why did Toontown Online shut down? Okay, so like this is due
All
to
right.
hackers invading the game, due to Disney
Okay.
running out of money to run the server sufficiently, due to Disney wanting to work on Club Penguin, or all of the above.
So I'm curious what the marked correct answer is because, from an official standpoint, we know that Disney did cite Club Penguin as like their
official
where they were.
reasoning.
It was like where they were going, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the closure of Pixie Hollows and Potco and Toontown.
But like behind the scenes, everything here is correct, and they kind of worked in tandem.
Yeah.
Where like hackers invading the game, and they didn't
was
have
a
enough
big
money to
problem.
combat it, so therefore they rerouted their
Yeah.
funds to Club Penguin. It's like A and B and
Yeah.
C because of A, because of B, because of C.
So we'll see what the quiz says.
I'm willing to say all of the above because it's all technically correct.
I'm also willing to say all of the above. It's possible the quiz just says due to Disney wanting to work on Club Penguin.
We shall see.
Either is
all
fine,
of the above,
but we'll go all of the above.
Who is the mayor of Toontown?
So, Flippy,
did you
Mickey
see
Mouse,
Anthony's
Donald
short
Duck, or
on
Goofy.
this?
I saw Anthony's short on this. I actually did. Shout out to Anthony.
Yo, Anthony, if you watching this, bud, I saw it too. So it makes me rethink: is it actually Flippy or is it Mickey Mouse?
Do we think that Dreamy Mitzi marked Flippy as the mayor
I know
of
it's like
Toontown?
it depends on the actual person who wrote it, because it's showed that whoever wrote it, Dreamy Mitzi, right? Did Dreamy Mitzi watch Anthony's short?
That's so some people might be watching and wondering, why are we bringing this up to this question? The answer is because even Toontown Rewritten has acknowledged that Flippy is the president of the Toon Council, not the mayor. So is the mayor here Flippy or is it Mickey Mouse?
I'm willing to go with what you go with, and it's like in our hearts we know the right answer. We're just trying to guess if Dreamy Mitzi knows the right answer.
I feel like we should answer Flippy and see if it's correct.
All right, we'll answer Flippy because we think Dreamy Mitzi thinks it's Flippy, not because we think it's Flippy. All right?
Because
we're trying to get a perfect score here.
I know that my homie Mickey Mouse is both the king in Kingdom Hearts and the mayor of Toontown. So.
All right, and now we've got which throw gag does maximum damage to a cog when the skill points are maxed out? Is it birthday cake, whole cream pie, cupcake, or whole fruit pie? It's birthday cake. It's birthday cake.
It's birthday cake.
It's birthday cake.
Yeah.
Birthday cake. Yeah. What Toon species is the most popular? Now that's a loaded question. All right, it is a loaded question.
It's undeniably cat.
Yeah, it's either dog or cat because those are the two most. Cat. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to say cat. I definitely see it. It's meow 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 meow.
All right. What was the most common cog defined within 4+ story boss spot cog buildings? Corporate Raider, Pencil Pusher, Flunky, or Yesman? I guess Corporate Raider.
I don't think that was it's not the most common cog. Let's say we do a 4-story building right now. Which one of these 4 cogs do you think we will tally up the most of? I want to say Yesman.
I would say Yesman too, but just because I feel like generally the answer is gonna be Corporate Raider. I don't know.
Why would that be? That's be a terrible answer. Because if you're going to a 4-story cog building, we're assuming it's like the level range is probably like 3 to like 9, and Yesman's lowest level is 3, and highest level is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So there's a good chance that we're gonna see of those level ranges more.
Let's lock in Yesman and see. Also, this is as of 2023. You never know. Maybe something changed. All right.
I'm going to go Yesman, just with my knowledge. What made Toontown Online so successful?
The community, the gameplay,
it's the cuteness. It's just the cuteness. Purely the cuteness.
Above.
It definitely wasn't the gameplay. No,
It's all the above.
This is all of the above. I was going to say, this feels like an opinionated question. All right, when did Toontown Online shut down? December 11th, 2014. Darkest day in history. No.
Man, it was clearly September 19th, 2013.
How much did an annual Toontown Online subscription cost in Canada?
$10, $25, $30, all of the above.
So first of all of the above doesn't make sense. Second of all, annual in Canada. Okay, annual in the US was like $60 because it was 10 for a month, 25 for 3 months, and then
oh man,
maybe it was like
I don't want to look up the answer. That'd be cheating.
If I had to take a guess, it'd be 30, but like
I don't know.
It can't be all of the above. And this is annual, so yearly, unless they're just asking how much were Toontown cards.
I'll let you click on your answer. I'm leaning towards 25, but
I'll
don't
click on
disagree.
25 for you. It's
It's okay
so
if it's
oddly
30.
specific. How much you want? Okay, bonus question. Is Dreamy Mitzi Canadian?
That's yes.
Yes. All of the above.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. Boom. We got
80%.
8. All right. What did
almost
we
everything
get?
about Toontown. Let's see.
Okay, answers?
Answers.
All right, so we did get the beta correct, 2001.
Right.
Shutting down, opened in 2003. Got that.
2003.
All of the above for
okay,
Toontown Online.
We got that.
They did think it was Flippy. They're wrong, by the way.
They're wrong.
It's
They are
not,
wrong.
but they thought it was
It's not.
Flippy.
It's not. Flippy.
Birthday cake was correct.
Yep. Cat was correct.
Cat was correct. It makes me weary about these later ones.
Yep.
Yesman was incorrect. What did they?
It has to be corporate.
Why would they think that's such a terrible answer? That's not
it's
correct.
It's the one that stands out, like tier wise. You know.
I might redo this again just to see.
Yeah, that's fair.
Correct
All the
there. Correct.
September 19th
was not 25.
So
okay,
maybe
well
30. You want to run it back?
Running it back. Okay, here we go. 2001, 2003, all of the above. Flippy, even though that's wrong. Birthday cake, cat, corporate raider, all of the above. September 19th. Let's go.
$30.
I'm just going to click all of the above because why else is it there?
30,
I'm just
30.
100%. It was all of the above because they misread the question. It's not annual. Also, you were right about corporate raider, which is just totally not correct, by the way. But yeah, I think their idea
you're wrong,
is
Aaron. I think you're wrong.
They're saying how much was an online subscription card, not annual. The word annual means yearly. Get a dictionary.
That's crazy.
So every other one of these that has all of the above, the answer's been all of the above. So that's why I went all of the above, because I'm like, they're definitely meaning that it's just like. Also, like, nobody got that answer correct because, again, poorly worded. What was the other one that, like, most people didn't get correct? The result totals. Oh, it's how many total? Okay, so it's like 3 people got 100%. I see, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Most people got like 6, 7, 8. So, we got 100. Good job, Michael.
Yay,
even though 2 of the questions were wrong. Actually, 3. 3 of the questions were wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought
70%.
that would be fun for us to do together.
That was fun. It honestly, it's good to test our.
I didn't look over the questions ahead of time, so that was just purely like, let's do this together.
It's impromptu, everybody. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
All right, well that's gonna be it. Let's do our final shout outs. If there's 1 or 2 games you've been playing lately that you want other people to check out, what would it be, Michael?
The one I'll shout out in the interest of time. I'll shout out that y'all should go ahead and pre-order SpongeBob SquarePants, the new game. It's gonna be
Titans of the Tide.
You should definitely check that game out. Yeah.
I want to get it so bad. I hope they give me a review copy. I will do it so much justice with my review. I promise. I'm gonna glaze it so hard.
Hey yo, what?
Maybe.
Come on. This is a Toontown podcast. My brother.
If I had to shout out a game, I'm gonna shout out Yuka Replayly. I did beat it. True. I am 1 trophy away from getting the platinum, and I am 3 pages away from getting 100%. Or maybe it's 6. Cool. There's 300 total. I'm really close though. Fantastic game. Huge shout out. Check out my review and all the other videos, and subscribe to this channel because we upload once a week.
Subscribe to this channel
usually. So
we will be back on. Well, we'll record.
It'll still come out on the same day. All right, we're recording on a different day for time constraints, but it'll still come out every Thursday right here. And we'll definitely have more to talk about next week. We're gonna go over the Grindworks update. I'm probably gonna share my thoughts on Little Nightmares 3. Yeah. And any other sort of new updates that come out since then. Maybe Corporate Clash will bring out a new statement. Maybe they'll make a little update. Who knows? We'll see.
Maybe we'll get another Toontown blog post. You never know.
You never know. Maybe TTR will shake things up.
Yeah, we didn't even look at like the Event Horizon blog post or anything. So
I know. We'll have to save that for next time.
Yeah.
Corporate Clash was a lot. This is already over 2 hours. I don't know if you... This is the longest episode yet.
I'm dead, bro. I'll see you later.
All right, we're gonna go. Thanks for watching. Leave a like. Until next time. See you guys. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye.